3. Now. No countdown this time, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to Records of the Realm Light Arc. Happy Pride Month. Happy weekend. Happy Sunday. We're here to cause some chaos with the Radiant Babes, as the name has been dubbed for this group. And it is in fact canon. But we do have a few announcements before we do intros and recaps. First and foremost, we have merch now. Specifically, we have Pride merch. The link will get dropped in a moment or two, but yeah, we have our little buddy Rex doing some crazy fun stuff, and he it just looks adorable. I didn't have anything prepared to like show up, so you should go check it out. But if you want a really awesome Pride shirt that also shows that you're a D&D nerd, and also if you like a skeleton boy, we don't actually know what Rex is.
Yeah.
Skeleton them. Who likes to take notes. Yeah. Go check out his artwork. The artwork for it. It's real good. It's some fun stuff. Anders, I would totally recommend you raising your camera a little bit if you can, or lowering yourself a little bit if you can, because I have you cut off on the screen.
I think your camera just like slowly sunk downward.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Besides that, we also have some new bits stuff going on, specifically for Pride Month, that will carry over. But for Pride Month, they're going to be severely discounted. We're going to have the options for you to give these characters a D4 inspiration, which they can add to anything else. So if someone has guidance and bardic inspiration, they can also use one of these D4 inspirations from a pool. We're going to have rerolls, in which we already have one in that category. And then we are going to have crits, which we also have one in that category, which is our monthly goal when we don't have something special going on. If you want to wait and help and support for free, but if you want to spend that money to get these people to not fuck up, you're more than welcome to. The numbers that we have for it is for the D4 inspiration. 69 bits will get you a D4. 1, because it's funny. 2, 69 is the year that the Stonewall riots happened. So that is, we're doing Pride Month. We're doing some numbers that are relative to specifically things that are related to us gays. And when I say us gays, I mean either us or our characters. For the rerolls that we already have one of, the number is 266, which is for June 26th, was the year in the day in 2015 where gay marriage was legalized by our government, which we will continue to fight to make sure that does not get taken away. So equal rights for all. And for the crit, right now we have 2022, our current year and date, because boy do we have a lot of work to still do to keep equality for everybody. So those are the three numbers we got. Those will all be raised as soon as Pride Month is done. So if you want to get those bits in to actually help people, or help these people specifically, or anyone that in a game that I'm running, please go ahead and check it out. But for now, we're going to do a quick intro from everybody, then we're going to do a real quick recap, and then pop into this. I am so sorry we are so late. Hi, I'm Vander, or Vincent, or Vinny, or whatever the hell you want to call me. I run Vander.Vision and this thing. Vander.Vision is cosplay photography, videography, and I make D&D stuff. Rachel.
Hi, my name's Rachel. I play Temerity Serechor, who is our Tiefling Warlock, Pact of the Fae. And, you know, I just be swinging that booty and breaking hearts and Anyway, I'll throw it up to Corinne right above me.
Hello. Hopefully the Google Meets is processing correctly and you can all see what I'm saying. Maybe?
Yes.
Maybe? There we go. Okay. Great. Hi, I'm Corinne. If you want to know me other places, it's somewhere on the screen. But today I'm playing Ethel Moonshade, Cleric of Selune. I'm very excited. Anyone who is curious, the cat's name is Twilight. She wasn't supposed to be in here. So I have an animal companion today.
Nice.
Yeah, so we were gonna go ahead and pass it up again to Una /Nova, whatever your real name is. Sorry.
That is all right. So I'm Nova. I play Asunar Keyrel, our half-orc drow barbarian wizard monstrosity thing. Yep, I done fucked around, and now I'm making my party find out about it all, including myself. I cause problems on purpose, so I'm gonna pass it that way.
Perfect. I'm Anders. You can catch me in cosplay and body paint at Anders the Pirate. And come check out the podcast, The Storyteller Squad, where I play Damien Edgecrest, everyone's favorite envy demon. I'll be back playing Sin Alamoad today, resident chef. And then I'll pass it down to Mel.
It me. Hello, I am Mel. Oh, that's for me. Thank you. Love you.
Me too.
Delivery!
Oh no, my poor fiance just tripped over our dog.
It
But hi.
do be like that.
It do be like that when you have small animals in the house. Hi, I'm Mel. You can find me on most socials as Mellowette. It should be spelled out above my face. But in case it's not, spell the word mellow, subtract the W, add et like etiquette, and you'll find me on most socials. Unless you are looking for me on Twitch, you gotta add an underscore. And I play Kanitae Baequiundilin, our party's half-elf bard, and all-around nosy bitch. And also, I just want to point out that we apparently now have 102 followers, which is kind of wild. So thank you.
Welcome, new friends.
Yeah. Thank you, friends.
Yeah, that
Hello.
was going to be part of the thing. I heard
Oh, I'm
your
sorry.
story earlier, Rach, when you were talking about potential new people. And last night I was looking, and I saw the numbers just slowly going up. so
Hey.
thank you.
So,
Like I
Hello, new
said, throwing that ass.
Rach, Temerity, same person. It's fine.
yeah.
All right. And I think, Rach, you are also going to do the recap. We're going to hear that amazingness recap from you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Let me get my post-it notes in order. Because I actually prepared for real this time.
Wow.
Okay, so the session started with Ethel sharing a very tender moment with her longtime rival, Judy. And Asunar awakens in the monastery of voided armaments, covered in blood and shocked to learn that she had murdered 2 people while she was disconnected from her consciousness. She just has a lot of really bad amnesia right now. Oh, there goes my light. One sec. There we go. All right. While she was in an underground fight pit, Asunar flew into a rage in previous sessions after learning that her childhood friend and longtime crush were now engaged and planning to be married, and flew to the underground to take out her rage, and it didn't turn out so great for the other guy. Research is done, history is learnt, and laundry is washed. The group reconvenes and comforts Asunar at Ethel's Church of Selune, and the group crashes at the collective for the evening when Ethel has a special kind of dream, which ends with the mantle holder of Selune, her god, otherwise known as Chris, being attacked by a shadow creature. Ah! The next morning, Ethel wakes up, and although she has some questions regarding a few of our other group mates, mostly my character and his weird wife, she finds that she's unable to connect with her magical powers upon first trying. And then right after she attempts to use her magic, Aaron, the newscaster, appears in the sky and informs everyone that Ethel's longtime rival, who she had just come to terms with and maybe formed a blossoming friendship, had been murdered in the night and found with 7 mysterious holes in her corpse. Bum bum bum.
Love that. Solid recap. You guys are all, if I remember correctly, you did all decide to collapse at the Heaven's View Collective because...
Correct.
I forgot the exact reason why, because my mind is right now.
Asunar didn't want to go anywhere in public. Kanitae wasn't going to leave her alone.
There's a number of reasons.
There's a variety of reasons.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys are all, waking up. You got together, begin talking about a plan. Ethel attempted to do some magic, and the magic no do. And then after a few moments of talking related to that, a very fortuitous and convenient announcement came onto the news that
So convenient.
Judy, last name inserted here, is now
Shoot.
dead.
I'm supposed to send that to you. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Do you know what it is off the top of your head?
Moonshade?
Maybe.
Oh, Judy's last name.
Judy. Judy from Bossing Say. Behind the walls.
There is no more Boston say. There's nothing wrong in Wishfall.
See,
there
that's
is
another
no-
fun shirt.
There is
I'm on it.
serial
I'm
killer
fucking on
in
it.
Wishfall. There is no murder
There,
in Wishfall.
there is no serial killing in Wishfall.
I
Maybe
thought
not that
we had
crazy.
chosen something,
That's fine. You research it if
but
you
I
figure it
don't
out.
see anything
you
in
let
my
me know.
notes.
Either
Okay.
way, you 4 or you 5 plus Trine are there watching Ethel trying to perform magic. It just not doing crap, and you guys hearing this announcement. First reactions. What do? What do?
What a shame about that Judy character dying. Any of you know her?
Kanitae's just staring at Ethel. Like, she was already staring at Ethel because her magic wasn't working. And then the announcement comes on that Judy's dead. And Kanitae is just like, has this look on her face like, what in the ever loving fuck?
Yes, Nick was her husband. She's a member of my church. I don't know that I can say we were friends. We were kind of rivals, but we were also. It's complicated. It's fine.
To be clear, there were social rivals. There was no, like, violence between them. I just want to make that very clear.
Thank you, Connie. This is bad.
Oh, wouldn't you want your rival gone?
I
No,
don't think the rivalry was that serious.
it was like competition.
Well, to me, that just sounds
Temerity.
like someone that's trying to steal your spotlight.
But Temerity, would it be any fun doing any of your work if you had no one else to compete with to try to be the best at your work?
Well, considering I have not met anyone who even comes close to my caliber, I can't say I can relate, but I see what you're trying to say.
All right.
A god somewhere rolls their eyes real hard.
If Aphrodite lived in this world.
Yeah, literally, this is literally the equivalent of Temerity just being like, I'm as beautiful as Aphrodite, and just
No,
waiting for
Temerity
that
would be
to
like,
come up.
I'm prettier than Aphrodite. I would immediately be smited. Smoked?
Smitten.
Temerity would start the war. Actually, would Temerity start the war or I'm gonna
Temerity would
end
be
the
the
war.
catalyst for the war.
Yeah.
So yeah, you figure this out. There's a very concerned look all around between all of you, as one of your magic folk just.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like Connie would be the one to suggest, like, all right, so maybe we spend a bit of time today focusing on self-defense in a melee fashion, Ethel, just in case?
Yes, that would be ideal. Also, can we please go check Judy's body first, though? Because
Well, I would assume
flowers and
that the police department will collect her. With the coroner's office, and I mean, we never did get a look at the flower from Siobhan or from their Jane Doe on the record. So
you're
Temerity,
right.
you could work your charm maybe with Vito and see if we could get a look at all those.
You know I have more skills than charming the literal pants off people.
I know, but Vito really seems to like you, so it would be a really big help if you could help.
Well, if you're asking me so kindly, I would
You're
be
very good at it, and clearly I don't appeal to him, so
it would be rude for me to decline at this point.
I appreciate you.
And Una, I'd hate for you to be stuck here in the tower all day. If you want, I can pop over to the Undercity and the fighting ring, see if people really are angry at you, or maybe the coast is clear and everything's fine.
I would appreciate that, but I don't know if that'll work. People seem to be really, really mad.
Well, I'll go in there with some pastries. Usually that brightens everyone's day. Make them some muffins or something for the morning, and we'll do a vibe check. We'll see where people's heads are at, and yeah, maybe they are pissed, and it'll just be good to know where we should avoid.
I love a morning muffin.
I'll make an extra one for you. Don't worry, Temerity.
Locale, please.
God.
I got you.
Every time. I want to strangle you a little bit every time, Rich, when you have to mention low-calorie food. Cool.
Tim just gets the muffin tops anyway.
Trine offers to accompany you, since just so you're not going down there alone, since it is a fighting ring, and one of our members just got in trouble down there.
Yeah, you're welcome to join.
It's a moon day, right? How is Trine right now?
She has been taking notes. She was very rapt to attention when Temerity began speaking about having alternative skills that he's good at, and then just waited and waited to take notes, but no one brought up the additional skills that Temerity had. So then she just continued writing everything else.
I love her so
All right,
much.
she's in that mood right now. Okay. Kanitae might just pipe up with, well, Trine, you might want to resist the note-taking urge if you're gonna go down there with Sin, because I don't think people will necessarily appreciate, after having their feathers ruffled so aggressively, having someone taking notes, especially in the underground.
Or in this case, their fur ruffled.
Sure.
Roll a persuasion check.
Shoot, I was gonna finally remember to tell you to do guidance, and then I can't. I can't.
Do it. You can't do it. It's okay. I rolled a 12 flat. Persuasion plus 7, 19.
I feel like Connie should have advantage anytime for persuasion on Trine, but maybe the DC is really low. Who knows?
That's the reason Connie even gets a roll. So, Trine gives like a small look, all right, and just closes the book for the moment, and then looks towards Sin to see if he's ready to go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll be ready to go. Give me like 5-10 minutes to finish up the muffins. I can get those cranked out for her, just to
You get
help
the
grease the wheels.
ready-made batter you made like yesterday evening. Just
I mean,
chilling.
it only takes me 10 minutes because I'm currently working on it now.
Oh my god.
You just
The
see
room's
things
within 30 feet, so
Yeah, you just see things moving in the background behind you guys.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Temerity, maybe we should pop over to the police station then. See if we can get.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh,
If
hold
Sin
on.
is gonna go cover ground in the underground, and Una's gonna train with Ethel, then And we might as well try to cover more ground now rather than later, right?
Might as well. I mean, it is Moon Day.
Yeah.
I
We
need
can
to check
reconvene
my
in a couple
bag to see
hours,
if I
figure out
have
what's
any
going on.
body glitter.
I might have some in my bag if you need to borrow.
Or maybe I shouldn't. If we'll have to see if he's working, because I don't think it would be a good look for him to have glitter while
He might
he
not
was
mind.
clocked in.
Um,
Lockout glitter.
um, Ethel, and Una, where are you guys doing your training?
I would ask other collective people if there's a good spot, because
In the collective?
you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go to my room. I'll pay for damages if damage happens.
Alright.
Fair enough. What is this training consisting of? Walter is also with you guys, unless someone else needs Walter's help with something, because Walter also slept here, I believe.
Yeah, he did. If you'll recall, when Selune offered to have Ethel's eyes write
laser
things
beams?
on the
Yeah.
ceiling, we were discussing how Walter might be freaked out by that.
Hold on. I need to look at my weapons, because this may be difficult if I don't have the right thing.
I have an axe that I carry under my skirt. It's like
Alright.
strapped to my thigh.
Well,
That's always
you know,
there.
It's a hand axe. A hand axe is like the
Talk
similar
about
size
chafing.
of a sickle,
Outside.
so I'll
Outside.
just...
Oh, outside. Got it.
It's like the skirt hides it. If I was wearing pants, it'd be a different story, but skirts hide things.
Especially if you're wearing a petticoat. Which I'm assuming she does, because it's the housewife outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys...
Asunar will only be a little upset that you have immediately agreed to train Ethel and immediately declined to train me within, I don't know, 12 hours.
Do
It's fine.
Did you mean
Temerity,
Temerity, maybe?
Temerity,
Temerity's saying that to Asunar.
I'm gonna be real. Have you ever held a weapon before?
Oh, many a weapon, you would be surprised.
I'm not talking
You
about
set
your
it up.
dick. I am not talking about your dick or someone else's dick. I'm talking about something you could... Something...
Nothing you say
you could
is going to
stab
help.
with.
Nothing
Nothing
you
I've-
say is going to make it better.
Something you might potentially murder someone with.
Both of you to assume my
You can
part.
murder...
Thank you.
Connie, you can murder someone with a dick.
This is news to me.
Spoken like a true lesbian. Happy
think a
Pride Month,
lesbian-
everyone.
Right.
Wouldn't a lesbian know that? Never mind. Anyways,
No.
that's going into another
We're
whole
not
topic.
going there. That's a topic
That's-
for an 18 plus stream.
That's the one. That's the topic.
This is an 18
That's the
plus.
topic.
Anyways, me, Asunar, and Ethel get their axes out and train.
Ethel will look to Temerity because she didn't hear this conversation happen last night, and she will say, Temerity, darling, if you want to do things if you want to train after I was like, I gotta fix that. After you're done working with Connie, I am more than rusty. Extra hours would do me no harm.
I don't live by many rules, Ethel, but one of them certainly is don't take a backhanded invitation.
Wasn't?
Maybe backhanded isn't the right word.
You hear some big sighing as Walter is cracking his back. He's like, "All right, Temerity, me and you, we're gonna go train right now. You ready to go for a run?
A run.
Come on." Nope.
probably do that.
Unless you resist him, he is going to pull you out the door to go on a run.
Right. Well, I can't be smelly before I go and see Vito. Can I take a rain check?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe after we get back, Walter and I start pulling Temerity towards me.
Walter was like, "All right, we're getting too far into this conversation. Either we're going to go work out or things are going to happen." So, Walter gets back in the room.
When we get back, Walter.
Yep. Walter is going to help train. Walter also recently started picking up his stuff again too. So he'll join Una and Ethel with some training for a little bit. That goes on. Who wants to go first? Cinn or the lovely charismatic pair? Charisma hose? Charisma hose. Okay, charisma hose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go, Charisma Hose.
I can take notes later.
You guys head off to the police station. It is fairly solemn because not long ago Nick died, who was a cop, and now
A month later, yeah.
the wife of a cop has died. So no one, it's not a chipper mood, not the police stations normally are, but it's people are low. Like, they kicked a dog and then they kicked the dog again. Like, they're just not doing great. You get into this fairly somber locale, and when you enter, there's no one really questions you why you guys are here or anything. There's a secretary up front if you want to specifically talk to just Vito. If you guys plan on doing something else, let me know. And is it just Temerity going to talk to Vito, or are you guys tag teaming this?
No, I don't think that would be a good idea.
I already had the words halfway out. Sorry.
Yeah, no. It depends on. Well, I guess here's what we could do. Well, it takes at least an hour to fucking attune. Never mind, that won't work.
Well, I don't know how long this is going to take.
Yeah, I mean, I guess send Temerity first to talk to Vito alone, and then if Vito agrees to show us what the flowers, then Connie will go back, but she might just wait outside until Temerity is ready.
Okay. Outside is in, like, outside of the whole department, like
Outside in like the lobby.
Okay. Cool. Temerity, you good to go alone?
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, you know where Vito's spot is. The secretary can bring you over. You can just walk over yourself. Either way, the door is shut when you get over there. You're not hearing a lot of noise inside right now, but lights seem to be on.
Okay. I will go up to the door and knock.
There's a bit of a tired sigh. Who is it?
Your secret admirer.
What?
Maybe not so secret.
Oh,
Now just enter.
Yeah, it takes a moment when you say it first, like, secret admirer. Oh. As you're, like, opening the door, you feel the door also pulling from the other side as, like, a mage hand is, like, opening the door for you. And you see Vito's just sitting at his desk, bunch of crap out, just, like, there's just so much like, paperwork going on, and he looks real, like, again, a kicked dog, really. Like, more than just tired, he like, this is a very aggravating situation for him to be in. So he's just like, "Hi, Temerity. I'm sorry I didn't recognize right away. It's been a long, like,
you're
5
busy.
hours."
It's okay. I understand. I saw the broadcast. Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know Judy super well, but she was nice to us. She made great baked treats for everybody, and she, her and Nick, like they were a cute enough couple. It just sucks. Um,
Mm.
and now it's we were getting over Nick from a month ago, and now this is just opening fresh wounds for a lot of us. Um, so I'm fine. I'm better off than some other people are really busted up. There were some people at the church, and they were not doing good when we arrived. But here, a couple of us are doing real bad, but I'm better. I'm just tired. Honestly, it is nice to see a friendly face, though, that is not subjugated to this specific pain. How are you doing?
Oh, getting along, not working as much as I would like to. Well, working a lot, but um, you know what they say about enjoying what you do. You won't work a day in your life. Um, but let's not worry about me. Is there anything I can do to help? And I'll like come around his, I assume it's his desk.
Mm.
And as long as he doesn't read like he's uncomfortable with that,
Mhm.
I'll like go behind him and like rub his shoulders a little bit.
There's like a head jerk for a second to like double check that his door is closed when you like start doing the shoulder rubbing. But he looks up, door's closed. He's like, I mean that alone, helpful you being here. I appreciate the check-in. But I mean, unless you've got a missing piece to this puzzle that we aren't figuring out, I don't know. There's too many of these.
Well, maybe a little bit more, and then I'll kind of like slide my hands down the front of his chest and say, collaboration is in order.
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm not drinking this session, so I'm like, this is making real life Rachel anxious. Okay. Wow. 23?
Always do D&D drunk, guys. That's what we're saying. Uh,
Yeah. If you're charismatic, but not really super charismatic in real life.
23. He leans into it. You get the vibe that he probably doesn't want to like do anything too
Yeah.
nonchalant. I guess is here, but he's fine with like the contact. That like the contact, the warm presence is very welcome right now. He leans into it. He says, "We're working with the collective best we can, but I don't know what else we could do. Are you guys finding anything? Did you guys have any idea about this? Did you have?"
While he's leaning into it and saying this and what he was saying before, can I look on at the shit on his desk?
Yes, you can. No real perception check needed. You can very plainly see. One, there's some gruesome imagery of Judy. It's not fun to look at. But you can also see that there are etchings of these flowers. Here's a question for the whole group. Has any of you guys told the police force that there are words written on them in Druidic?
We had not, especially now after learning that the police chief is not actually the police chief. It's kind of hard to figure out who to trust. So,
Is that the same for everybody? No one's just double checking with
I
everybody
don't
else?
think so.
I don't know if it's wise.
Cool. So you see plain drawings of flowers. They without them knowing that there's anything secret involved, or there's no etchings or written words that you know that at least the very least Kanitae has seen. I forget if anyone else has actually really seen it at this point.
I think Connie was the only one who was able to like do the correct
Do
combination.
the combo, yeah. So you're seeing plain flowers. So either that means you can't read it, Temerity, or they just didn't draw it on there. Which, if they don't have the knowledge about it, there's no way for them to find out. But you see that there are drawings of these blossoms that are, again, perfect. 8 petals, small black dots on them.
And not recognizable patterning or something I could remember.
Nope. Without
They didn't write it down.
Nope. There are notes. Give me an investigation check, because there's still a couple things you could find out, but it would be very.
Duty. 11.
Not great, so you're not going to get one of the things, but one of the things you do see is that there.
Can I do a reroll for Temerity if I submit the channel points for it?
You gotta do it ahead of time now.
Damn
it.
With an 11, you can see. Notes about something, and now I can't remember. Oh, the one of the notes. There are a list of underground people, and there are different groups being involved. So you see the names like the Far Reach, the Whole Body, Undertow, the Snare, the 4 groups that at the very least people have been talking about. And you're seeing names of like some of the members, like they're trying to just go through and see if there's anything going on there. You see the name Harmony written next to the Whole Body.
Next to the whole. That's the
Yeah, the group name is the Whole Body.
Okay.
Yep. That is their like underground name. You can also part of the monastery is the other one. The simple way to put it.
Oh.
Yes. Oh fuck! That's my sibling. Oh no!
Oh,
It took me a second to realize that.
That took a few moments.
Oh shit!
I was like, oh.
Well, I was trying to write it in the notes. I wasn't processing. I can't do both. What do you want from me?
No, that's fair.
I was wondering why that name felt familiar. I was like, I know this name.
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
this name.
I was like, that sounds like a tiefling name. Oh. Wait a second. I know that fucker. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. I'll kind of. Sorry, he asked me a question. I think.
He was asking if you guys like have figured any of this stuff out. Like, have you figured out any additional stuff about like the roses, the 7 points of killing, any additional information that you guys may have? Looking for help, basically. If there's anything that you.
Well, I will say that my companion, Kanitae, is nearby and might be able to share something with you. I don't really delve too deep into the researching aspects. I'm more of a results-oriented individual.
There's like a light chuckle when you say that.
But I would need something in return.
If it could help break this case, and it's not a crazy request, and just like it gives a look, I can
Define crazy.
I have no idea what the next words out of your mouth are going to be, Temerity. The last time we met in my office, we were fucking within 5 hours.
I would say that's one of my better skills. The element of surprise.
Exactly. So I would love to hear your request, and I would love your help. I can't promise both things.
You really do love playing hard to get. I want to see the flowers.
Oh.
Please.
Sure. Along that same vein, for seeing the flowers, what can friend do? For helping each other.
I want to spill the beans.
Do you want me
Well,
to give you a meta suggestion or no?
no.
Okay.
Vinny gave a little head shake when you
Mhm.
said
No,
that.
I checked that I had an email. God.
I would love that.
Go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah.
That is
Hit
fine.
me.
I
Help
would
me.
I would suggest saying the meta pigeon says. I would suggest saying like maybe bending the truth a little bit, and that Kanitae has recently figured out how to read them. I feel like maybe we can give the police that detail
I was just
because
wondering, I didn't know if you were willing to spill the beans because
I
you
think it's
like just
okay.
said.
I know. I think it's okay if we kind of bend the truth a little bit because if they find out we've been sitting on this for like 2 months, they might be like, "What the fuck?" But
On.
if you
Yeah.
kind of fib the majority truth a little bit, that might be okay.
Okay. I will say, well, she has developed a very interesting and miraculous skill as of late. Regarding the flowers, they can be read like READ.
I so appreciate the specifics in there, but yes.
Well, I know you, Vinny, and I know you would have been like, "Oh, but they're white."
He would. He actually would though, is the
uh,
thing.
He looks Vito, who doesn't understand specifically, like the concept is like, I mean, red. And he's like, he looks at the drawing and he's like, "Sing. Okay. Red. So they've been read before. We'll get to that in a second. Yes, you can grab your friend Conte. I will see if I can get the flowers. Give me like, God, I don't know. Give me like 5-10 minutes. Just bring Conte back into this room and
Okay.
see what we can
You're
do.
leaving?
Yes. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. I didn't. We will wait here for you.
Okay.
I'll go get her.
Yeah, I have a question about if they've been read. That means you've read them before. I have questions about that. I'll be back. And goes off to go and try to reclaim the flowers.
Okay, I'll go get Connie and be like, "Come on, hurry up! He left his office unattended."
Cool. I mean, yeah, you
Fair.
can go get Connie, come back to the room. It's still unattended because it's going to take more than like 3 minutes to go to evidence and go get it.
Cool.
So,
If I steal a peek at the notes, I don't know, would Temerity point out the flowers in the notes or
Yeah,
no?
I'd say
Okay.
those sketches suck. So they're not gonna do much. But I was able to convince him to go get the flowers and bring them back. But I did kind of spill the beans about you being able to read them. I hope that's okay. But it's a little bit of a, you got to
We can
give
make
something to get something.
that work.
But I did make sure to make it sound like it was recently developed.
That's fine. Would I still have a copy of the brochure or the flyer that was advertising the gallery opening like a month ago that had a picture of um Azaran's painting on the front?
yeah.
Would I still have that? Cool. Cool. So she's kind of just like calculating in her head how to explain that and just remembers that she has the flyer in her bag and she's just gonna be like, okay,
Can
I gotta
you
wait.
go into a little more detail about what you mean? Like, how gruesome are these photos? Because I don't, I mean, I feel like I remember in the other cases it was just like the holes and it wasn't like gore,
And they were
blood,
very clean,
clean.
yeah.
The cuts are clean, but like it's like, I mean, it's a human body with like 7 giant holes the size of like this carved out of all of them. It's not like crazy horror, but and it's not like bloody or anything. But like from the sketches,
disturbing.
yeah, from what you're looking at, it looks like it looked like she was getting up to flip another mirror, for the prayer thing that she was doing in the Church of Selune, and like
Flip another mirror?
yeah, so similar to like votive candles that a lot of Catholic churches have to like light a candle to say a prayer for somebody. They
Oh.
have a thing where you can flip a mirror that sends a moonbeam skyward as sort of a similar thing.
Oh.
So it looked like she was flipping that, and whatever happened, she got the holes bisected into her, and then she collapsed onto the mirrors. So
Oh my
like,
god. Oh, so her body's probably cut up from the mirrors then too. Shit.
no,
Ow.
it's more like the mirrors are through her. Like it's just not pretty.
Ow.
So it
Ow.
wasn't gonna get into description, but yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
she a little flicked up. But yeah, you can see the images. You don't see any notes related to any of the other specific cases here. Actually, Connie, why don't you roll me an investigation check since Temerity rolled one, just to see if you find anything.
Sure. 17 plus
I'm gonna try to find a spot on the desk where I can sit on it, like a
24.
Like
limbo.
Gotcha. Cool. You find small bit of notations. Seems to be on, like, from what you can tell, there are work journals, and then there's like a private investigative journal that he has, and there's just like a quarter of a page open that has some notes about Ryulin, and it just seems to be boss is acting different. Something's weird there. There's a couple like from the couple notes there, it seems like he's realizing something's up with Ryulin as well, but doesn't like have a lot of pieces. It's just like his intuitive nature with this stuff is like, this is weird. Not long after, with Temerity sitting like a himbo, Vito comes on back in, looks caught off guard by specifically Temerity sitting. Right. Again, Kanitae, and you see that he
Hi,
has some bags, and lays out 3 additional flowers onto the table. I've been told that recently you've developed an ability to read flowers. I'm very curious about this.
Yeah. So back when this started happening, I got a vibe, a gut instinct, if you will, that what was happening was somehow tied to druidic magic. I mean, it just seemed strange that every time this happened, there was a flower left behind. There were, if I recall correctly, at least what happened the first time, there was like tentacles, vines. I don't really know what they were. And so I started reading up on druidic magics, or I was trying to. And I forget where I learned this from. I think it was, I don't remember if it was Trine who told me this or if it was something that I read, but often that a lot of druidic knowledge is hidden. So I had a really stupid idea to use a
A
combination of,
brilliant idea, really.
well, it's brilliant because it worked. If it hadn't worked, it would be stupid. But I tried using a combination of spells and tried it on this specifically. And I pull out the flyer with the rendering of Azaran's painting on it. And I say, and I was able to read a message off of this painting.
The brochure or the
The painting. The painting of the flower, the rendering of the flower.
gotcha during the gallery? Okay.
And it said something. So then and it was in Druidic. So I started studying Druidic.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, Druidic. Oh, that makes sense. That's why no one. Fucking A. Okay. He looks very excited. The first time you met him, he had that thing where he like jumped out of the door and like looked like you guys and tried to imitate you. Yeah. And the last like few times you guys have seen him, he's like been really mellowed out because of the situations. You see a little bit of that like fire go back in him, and he's like, "All right, so there's a thing we can do here." Yeah, lays out the flowers. This one is from Argento, this is from Shivan, and this is from Judy. Yeah. Please let me know what they say. And God, now I have to fucking teach somebody Druidic on the force. Where did you
Arhuto?
Arhuto?
Argento?
What?
Do we have that name?
What? Sorry. What name are you asking about?
Vinny said that one of the flowers was from someone named Arjunto.
Jane
Jane
Doe.
Jane Doe.
Oh, I thought you said Arjunto.
Our unknown.
I was like,
Yeah.
another bold word for
mm-mm.
my notes? Arjunto.
Yeah, and yeah, he lays them out and says, "Yeah, go to town. Where did you learn Druidic? Because one of us here is going to have to start
It took me a while to
going to
figure
school."
it out.
The
Um,
library.
A lot. Too many uses of comprehend languages. I'd be happy to help educate.
Languages. Okay.
Yeah.
This is gonna be annoying, but have at it. Okay, yeah. He gestures to it, and as you are beginning to go over it, there's a knock on the open door of his office. And you guys see a very broad-shouldered, tall Genasi, space Genasi. It's not space Genasi. Star Genasi. Walk in, look around, like, excuse me, Vito. You have a second? Yes. Temerity, Kanitae, this is our former chief of police, Malarkey, or Malar for short. I know he doesn't like the full name. And this like very like a tank
Like my favorite name.
of a human being, of a humanoid, kind of just gives a nod.
Kind of just nod back. Does he seem like okay? Like a malarkey?
He seems somber.
Mhm.
He has just from like the way he like his stance and stuff is, he seems like ex-police force of some sort. He seems like he probably worked here one time, and Vito just says, yes, Mallory used to be our sheriff, and is actually the humble father of our current sheriff, Ryulum. And
Oh.
well, Malar just kind of like walks in and says, yeah, I just wanted to give my condolences situation. I bothered Ryu for a few moments, but I just wanted to make sure. I mean, I knew Nick pretty well and met Judy, and I just wanted to, do the least I can do. And they share a handshake and some kind words with each other. He gives a nod at you two, like looking you over and being like, "You guys definitely don't work here." And just like gives a nod and says,
curtsy.
and just gives like a good to meet you both.
Nice
Trouble.
to meet you.
And just walks out.
What a joke. Stay out of trouble. I couldn't imagine.
So Vito just you see Vito decompresses at that moment when he walks out. It's like, you guys research this. I'm gonna go deal with whatever is going on out there right now. And you are left alone to translate. He does say, "Can you just please write down what they say, please?"
Of course.
And the other one, if you know what that one says.
Which other one?
The one that you saw at the gallery?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Do you want me to translate all of them?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah. Probably.
Great. He looks kind of stoked. Again, he's in a real bad mood for the most part, but like he's like, this is great. This is the biggest lead we've gotten in a while. He walks out. You guys, you're left with the stuff. Would you like me to give you the translations before I hop over to somebody else?
Please and thank you. My also follow-up question to that before we begin is, do I still need to cast See Invisibility in order to see the text, or have I
No, because you've taken Druidic, you can just read them.
I can just read them now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sure.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Please hold. Let me flip to the correct page where I've been storing this information.
Sure.
Okay. Hit me.
Bam.
Don't-
Bam, orange juice, that's life. Anyways,
Oh.
alright, the one on, let's see, Shivan.
Mhm.
I have a whole fucking spreadsheet for this. Give me a second.
Love that.
I'm ready.
For Shivan's, it
Clickety
says,
clack, 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 clack.
trigger the descent of your philosophers and guardians. Exactly what it says in caption right now.
Add it. Next one.
Done.
Oh, sorry. Also, thank you for the follow, Johnny.
Thanks,
Nice to see you.
Johnny.
Okay.
Or not see you, but you're there.
On the Jane Doe,
Mhm.
the Jean Doe, whatever name
Mhm.
Rachel came up with earlier, has two separate lines, it seems. So some of them you've seen either have one phrase that go across all the petals,
Mhm.
like repeatedly, or a couple
Oh,
of the
so
ones.
these like alternating?
Yes.
Okay.
The first phrase: omens impending consume all wishes.
Omens impending, consume all wishes.
Mhm. The second line: release the chakras, claim each soul.
Fuck, that theory was right. Okay.
Which one was the first one on?
First one was on Shivan.
Okay.
Got all that? Two tippy tappy note takers. We good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. The final one on Judy's body says, a full blossom, the perfect 8.
The full blossom or a full blossom?
A.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is there a
eight.
comma
Yes.
in there, or did you
Between
just pause?
from blossom, comma, the.
Okay.
So there's one more.
No. We got Shivan's, we got Rylam's, and we got Judy's.
If there's another one that you remember, let me know so I make sure.
Jiandu.
Yeah, Jane Doe. Which is Rylam. But, yeah.
Cool. 4 new
Mhm.
phrases for you guys. Enjoy that. Cool.
Fuck.
As you translate, yeah, enjoy all this
Fuck,
random
fuck.
information.
Connie is literally just under her breath going, fuck, 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 fuck.
Yeah, have fun.
In my time, I've been told that it's better to keep those thoughts inside your head.
You're right.
As you guys sit and figure that out, Cinn, you and Trine are traveling underground, heading over to the monastery. Yeah.
Yeah, so Cinn has a tray of muffins, which he is warming with the produce flame cantrip as he walks. So they stay nice and warm, sort of like a warming, heating tray. And there's a couple scones in there as well for the chef feet. Trine, you gonna go and dress like that? I mean, no offense, but we're gonna go to the Undercity, and you're not gonna disguise yourself. You're pretty clearly from the Heavens View Collective, and I think the bow and arrow is a bit aggressive. I don't know. We need to go full guns blazing down there.
If you say so, I can try to switch up some things. She takes off her jacket.
Like parting your hair different direction.
Yeah. She leaves. If you tell her this before you guys leave, she will leave her bow and quiver at the Heavens View. But if you tell her while you're halfway there,
Oh, no. Before we leave,
Cool.
no.
'cause-
Look, this is supposed to be like a quick in and out mission, and you're not really dressed for it. I'm just gonna minor illusion. So this is what you currently look like. Definitely leave the bow and arrow behind. If you get into a fight down there, it's gonna be close quarters. The bow and arrow is not gonna help you out. Plus, it just sends the wrong message. Just dress down a little bit and hide any of your Heaven's View gear.
All right, you have to wait like 3 minutes as she like takes off the equipment, takes off the jacket, takes off the emblem, takes off the armor, switches into like some casual clothing for her that has at least some of like the neon flare from like the underground at the very least. Like it has a little bit of that, like it has like a golden, orange, red, yellow glow to it. She does take out 2 daggers and a short sword, all of which is concealed under the clothes that she now has at the very least, as opposed to the giant bow and quiver that was on her back before. And she does move her hair from one side to the other.
Perfect. That wasn't so bad now, was it? All right, let's get going.
Come on, Song. And she snaps a finger, and a little fey coyote appears and not leads the way, but like goes in front of you guys, waits for y'all to catch up, circles around, runs ahead of you guys again.
I'm so upset I missed Trine's makeover.
No, because then we would have had a whole montage where everyone's like, no, yes. We don't have time for that. You guys are able to head underground. You guys know the entrances. You're seeing, you know, like all of the entrances. Trine knows a couple. Find your way down, and you guys are heading straight to the whole body territory, to the monastery. Are you guys going straight there, or is there anything else that you're doing while you're down?
Maybe not straight to the monastery's second floor. So yes, and dropping off some of the blue goodberry muffins along the way, just to sort of, hey, nice to see you guys again. Keep up the good work. Hey, I'll come in and train sometime with you later, I promise. And then, taking the Undercity path down to the monastery.
As a curiosity, do you say that a lot to people when you come by? You're like, yeah, I'll definitely train. I got you. Is that a...
Yeah, because it feels like when you go see your friends in the gym, you're like, oh man, I've just been so busy with work, I haven't had time to come by. But oh, you guys are looking good. You guys have the pointers. I'll come back later. Yeah,
Cool.
Because they are running a small business, and you want to be supportive, but you also don't have the time.
100%. Yeah. So you are able to head down, and again, yeah, you find your way to the monastery of the Voided Armaments, which again, it's a 3-tier system. Bottom level is the Shrine of Blood. Second level is the monastery. Both of those levels are technically in the underground, where their top level is the martial arts studio. So you're able to head up to the monastery. They really aren't closed doors. They have a lot of layers to the walls to, buffet gunshots from the outside. So it's not just echoing all the time everywhere.
Gun monks.
Crazy gun monks. Yeah, is there anyone in particular you're trying to talk to, or are you just trying to like smooth with people so you can like get some information?
Mostly just dropping off muffins with the front of the house, like any of the bouncers or people at the front gates at the front office, checking people in. The goal would be to get down to the fighting arena to ask them like, hey, is Dalton back on the roster, or is he taking some time off? I've seen some of his fights. So I feel like the fighting pit would probably be the best spot to gauge his.
100%. There is a pair that you probably know from down here. They are a pair of Devati star elves, who are crazy gun monks. They are also a pair of DJs that kind of do the God, what's the group? I was gonna say Eiffel 65, but that's not right. It's the people who did
Limit group.
No, it's the people who did the music for Tron Legacy.
Oh, I don't know.
Daft Punk?
Is it Daft Punk? They have the giant helmets.
Yeah, that's Daft Punk.
Yeah, it's them. They're a pair of Divadi Star Elves that do part of the rave music sometimes. Like they literally do the DJing as like in a Daft Punk-esque fashion, where they got like crazy helmets and are like up top doing it. So you probably know them.
Oh, Cinn is absolutely a fan.
Cool. Their names are Elag and Weewag. I will spell those out for you at some point. But yeah, they have a couple body parts replaced with mechanical machinery, but they like have like one of them has like a pair of dual wielding pistols, the other one has like a shotgun esque gun that they keep on their back, not dissimilar to people with like axes and stuff. But yeah, they aren't like bodyguards, but they like keep an eye on like the front a little bit. So when you show up, they both have like a language that they just talk to each other real quick, and then they give like a nod of like what's up to you as you come on by.
Oh, Elag and Weewag, you guys destroyed it at the last set at the Rave Cave. Unbelievable. Just top tier stuff. You always outdo yourself. Hey, I fresh batch of muffins. These are for you guys. Hope you guys have been doing well and staying out of trouble.
Always best we can, and you watch them. They don't have the helmets on right now. What they have is sort of almost like not a tiara, but a headband, and on the side there's a set of different gems that are colored kind of like in the rainbow spectrum. And like one of them hits a button and says, "Where are you trying to go? Up top or down low?" Just so I can warn the people.
Oh, yeah, we were going to head down to the pits. I wanted to check some of the schedules for this week after I heard about what happened with Delton and his brother, you know. I figured that would change things, so I wanted to just check in.
Totally fair. Canhalia, you don't probably know him. We have someone coming in down there. Just he's a friend. Don't worry about it. And they give you a nod to head on down. They give you like a clap on the back and say, "We better be seeing you soon. We love having you." Just crazy ass dancing all over the place.
Oh, you know it. Walter and I kill it down there. You guys are so fun to dance for. I love the beat. It just keeps us moving.
Yeah, you need to come down Planet Side sometime. We have a space that we got down Planet Side one time when we went down there, and we made a real good time down there. Granted, it's hard to beat up here, but you know, you gotta try new things every once in a while, you know?
Well, hell yeah. That sounds great. You guys going on tour a little bit, getting out, stretching your legs. I mean, I've been pretty much planet side all my life. I've been city side my whole life. I don't get a chance to go planet side, but yeah, definitely. I want to see you guys in action.
But
There's all sorts of good food and drink down there.
it was just when we were on mission like 4 years ago. We had a real special time down there, and we made it memorable to say the least. So there's just a good spot for some dancing that we could show you. It's so much fun.
I was literally sitting here waiting and going, all right, so when is Mel going to figure out she's seen this before?
I was like, wait, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Motherfucker.
But yeah, you are able to go down to the Shrine of Blood. It is, again, even in like the non-busy times when it's a little deader, there are definitely fewer people, but it's still fairly rowdy. People are either bugging each other back and forth, and sometimes in a violent manner, sometimes in a joking manner. But there's normally always like a fight or a sparring match going on in the pit. Right now, when you head down there, you see the one known as Delton. You probably have seen him maybe before, but you at the very least know, because of Asunar's description, what the person probably looks like a little bit. You see this giant dwarf. This dwarf is like 12 feet tall right now, because of his enlarged state. Currently, there are 4 bodies on the ground inside the ring. And there are 2 more that he's currently fighting with right now, and he is going back and forth between the 2, grabbing one with a hand and just like choking one, while with his like heavy weapon, 2-handed weapon, blocking and fighting off the other one with one hand. If you knew any better, you'd say he's in a rage.
He seems to still be in fighting form. God, it's not taking him out of work for too long. Jeez.
You get down and you say that, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, no. Smart Money has been betting on Delton the last day or so, because he hasn't stopped."
Oh, that I appreciate that tip. We gotta head to the betting table real quick. I don't want him to get too tired before I get some coins on him. We just got that big payday. I mean,
Trine looks a little just like horrified at that specific situation of this one man just annihilating people. It's just like, uh-huh, and just kind of goes along with you. You're able to find who kind of referee, kind of like if you are specifically looking to gamble, Namada, who is a hobgoblin, has like a big thick mane of like auburn hair. Um, Currently just watching the match, and like she looks like she's just shaking her head like what the fuck. Still, so like but yeah, you're able to approach, and if you either want to talk or spend cash, or you just want to watch, like whatever it is you're trying to do, you let me know.
both. He's gonna put out 100 gold pieces. Uh, hey, I gotta put this on Delton. I heard he's tearing up a storm down there. Uh, Looks like it too. So yeah, definitely 100 gold in the next fight for him. But I tell you, he's looking like something else. I never seen him fight like this before. I mean, I know it's got to be because of his brother, and he's angry. You don't know, is he after anybody specific or just wants to get it out?
You say this to like Namada, who is just like, yeah, I think he has at least one more fight after this. We can toss it on to that one. Winning's gonna be this fight. He's kicking so much fucking ass. Probably be 50 gold in return.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I figured he probably had good odds.
Yeah, no, yeah, his odds are still incredible right now. So he's not the underdog to bet on right now at this moment. So yeah, but Namada's like, yeah, no, I haven't seen someone like this in a while. I don't know if it's infectious or something, but it's worrisome if this is something that keeps getting passed around.
Yeah, I hear you. Is he? Is he? I mean, does he have friends down here I could talk to? I want to make sure he's getting support and has, isn't just doing this all day.
Friends,
Like who he
unfortunately,
hangs out with and trains with when it's not his brother.
uh, yeah, about that. This is kind of the one person. It's a little bit
Boy,
what.
who's his manager? Who's taking care of him in between bouts and rubbing his shoulders?
Oh, if you want to talk to someone who's like kind of in charge, I can. You can go up to Kai again. She's in charge more of the monastery, but she controls technically all this down here too. She's a short little Asunar.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I've seen her around down here. Yeah, I can just drop off my treats and stuff with her. It's just trying to get him something nice. Feel like he's in a rough spot, but that gold's for you. I'll be around after the fight to see if that grows a little bit. But I'll catch you around. Thanks, Namada.
Yeah. As you say that, a voice comes up not too far behind you. It's a female voice. Saying, "Hey, are you the ones that's friends with Elag and Wigwag?" And you turn around, and you see this huge Goliath woman with like a giant bow on her back.
Yeah, it's some of the top DJs here. I love those guys. What's up? What can we do for you? You
Just
hungry?
new face. I just wanted to double check.
Sin Alamoad. I'm come down here all the time.
Uh,
Gotta catch a good fight every now and then.
Roll a persuasion check.
Um, because this person is sizing me up, and because you're making me roll a persuasion check, can I use my view aura to view this being's aura before I make the charisma check so I can make him with advantage?
Sure. Can you tell me what that does again? Just because I
Yes.
forget every ability that every single person has.
No, of course.
Oh.
Cinn uses his psionic ability Aura Sight to view aura, paying some psionic points and using concentration. So for the next hour, he's going to study this creature's aura. He can see the target. He learn if it's under the effects of any magic or psionic effects, its current hit point total, and its basic emotional state. While it lasts, you have advantage on wisdom, insight, and charisma checks you make against it.
Nice. Simple thing, HP total is 133. Magical effects, there are some magical weapons and stuff that she seems to be carrying. Seems to have some magical abilities herself. Nothing crazy, I don't know how specific it gets, but it seems like, anybody around here probably has a couple magic items or two, either just for aesthetic purposes or for basic fighting. Nothing super stands out in that way. What else do you find out? Sorry, a lot of stuff.
And basic emotional state.
Suspicious. Just new people. She seems very suspicious of new people. From what you can tell, she doesn't remember your face. It doesn't mean maybe you haven't met her in passing before, but she doesn't remember you, and because she specifically you can see the same metallic headband across her thing that was touched by one of the Devati before. It seems like after she got the message, she was also just concerned.
Perfect. So good thing I did the advantage. We're gonna go with the 18 to persuade.
She's looks at the pastries and gets a little distracted and ooh, yeah, and grabs the pastry. He's thanks, and then just walks off. Not sure how to end that interaction.
That's perfect. That's all we needed.
Trine still just stays quiet, walks away with you, just trying to vibe.
Perfect. You're doing great. We'll just see the manager, drop off the rest of these pastries, and meet up with the others.
All right. You head upstairs. Again, similar to when Asunar came here, you are hearing crazy gun mug sounds. There are guns going off. They are using blanks to train, but you are hearing fighting back and forth. You are watching people mid-casting or stations that are set up with casting being disabled from key blocking techniques. And from there, you are not without much difficulty able to find who you assume is in charge, mainly because she's calling people slackers and being slightly harassing of her many pupils, it seems, as she goes around and gives slight corrections here and there on people. But you walk in, and as you try and come in, there's just kind of a curious expression. This is a person you probably have not met before. But Kai again just kind of looks you both up and down, sees you holding pastries, and approaches, picks up just a cup of tea off of a small table where there's a little rolled out bed that seems to be covered in blood still from a very recent person who laid there, and just comes over and crosses arms and says, "Well, unless you're some new recruits I don't know about, I am not sure why you are here." And she takes a sip of her tea.
I am here to offer some pastries. Was stopping through to check in on Delton and Delton's associates. I understand I'm not allowed to train here due to I use magic, and you guys are a little too disciplined for my taste, with all due respect. But these pastries will help out any of your fighters that need them. I hope there's some for Delton. He is tearing up a storm down there. Some of the fiercest fighting I've seen. I hope he's doing okay. I hope everyone up here is doing okay too. I can imagine the death of his brother's taking its toll on him.
Yeah, I'd say so. And not far down, opens up a window shade, and you can just see the mayhem going on underneath, and then closes the window shade. Yeah, no, I'd say it's hitting him pretty rough. But if you've got treats to leave, there's probably 36 pupils in here, working on various things, whether it's the nullifying magic strikes or the crazy gun monks, and she gestures to either like leave on the table or hand out as you see fit. Uh, Short of his,
I'll leave them on the table. You can use them as prizes for the better fighters.
I guess that's better than yelling at them. Yeah, I'll try something new.
Oh, don't stop yelling. You're doing great.
Take a compliment when I get it. But yeah, I can tell you that short of his brother, Dalton didn't work with many others. He didn't work up here a lot. I went down there and trained him as much as he would let me, which wasn't a lot. So he is what he is. He's doing what he's doing. Have you tried talking to him? Do you know him?
I don't know him, but my heart breaks for the poor guy. You know, I mean, I'm an only child, so I don't know what it's like to have or lose a sibling. But when you don't have a lot of other friends and people to go to, I don't know what I would do with my time. You know, so I just want to make sure that guy's getting the support that he needs. And do you know if he's? It seems like he's content enough to smack around everyone else in the rink, but is he targeting the person who did it? Is he looking for a specific vengeance?
Are you trying to hide that you might know Asunar in any way?
Yeah, I don't think he would. He'd try to hide information first and
Okay.
foremost.
Um,
But as a fallback, I don't think that admitting to knowing Asunar would be all that bad. So I think it'd be something he'd be willing to throw down if needed.
Okay.
But on the whole, he's not willing to out. He's just being a nosy guy who's wondering if anything's going to happen to that person who did it. I mean, I didn't hear much about it. If it was an accident, was it a hit? I don't.
Roll me a deception check with advantage because she doesn't know you that well. I had her roll an insight check and we can see how things play.
Right. On the first. We're gonna go with the 19.
She doesn't seem to read crazy much into what you're asking. Says, as far as I know, poor girl went back to the surface. Don't know what she's doing now. But it didn't seem targeted from what I heard from her. It didn't seem targeted from her point of view. Seemed like she needed to get some aggression out, and unfortunately, anger is contagious, and she just passed it on.
Oh, hey, no, I understand. It's a fight. These things happen. I was more so getting at whether, Delton's holding a grudge against her or whether he understands that death happens. I mean, chances are, I don't know if all those people are walking away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Those ones definitely aren't. Some of those have already been in the ring for over a minute. But he seems pretty angry at the person who did it. I will say that. So
And does he stay in the Undercity or does he go up top very often?
You'll he doesn't
Not
like
that you know.
he doesn't like mixing up there a lot. A lot of us don't. Some of us can get up there if we want to. He's not the type to be going up there much, although for his brother, he just might.
Yeah, I figured as much. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. If I come up with another batch, I'll stop by after another match or so. Cause man, I think got a lot of respect for their guys. They got they got guts to get in that ring. That looks terrifying.
Do you make anything with mango?
Of course. Yeah, we get some shipments of mangoes up from the planet.
If you're looking for a suggestion, mango.
Hey, I gotcha. Usually it's just too much on the blueberries. I get it.
Gives a nod. Looks over at Trine, who hasn't like said a word. And you can see just like the fidgeting in her. Like she probably wants to take notes about some of this stuff, but she's just kind of like self-containing best she can. She kind of just has her arms folded across herself, kind of like dipping her arms like under her armpit, her hands under her armpits to kind of just like hold her hands there. And she's just like, she's analyzing the fuck out of the shit that's going on down here right now, though. She's just looking all over, being like, this is some crazy monk shit. And just eyes darting back and forth between all of it. But she's been good. She's being quiet. I keep rolling checks for her to see if she'll change, but she's doing pretty good so far.
Alright, well, I might start having to cast guidance just to help those checks along. Didn't realize she was sweating over there. So yeah, then I guess he'll go down, collect any winnings, fingers crossed, and then we'll meet up with the rest of the group.
Yeah, the fighting doesn't seem to stop. When you get down there, the two people that were in the ring are now dead as well. And there is currently, apparently as a standby between the fights, there is a training dummy. But this training dummy is almost the same size as Delton in his enlarged form, and the limbs that turn and go back and forth are covered in spikes, so whenever he hits it, the other part comes back and hurts him, so whatever this rage is that he's in, he can continuously stay in it. So he is just fighting and punching this thing that seems to be made out of metal or stone, and just continuously going back and forth with it to just stay in this constant rage. But the other fighters are getting a break right now because they're either dead or not participating, so...
Oops.
You do make 50 gold. You do technically win. So, get that monies.
Look, you got to take the hot tips when they're available. All right, but then yeah, we'll meet up with the others.
Cool. Before we go to break, I want to check in with Asunar and Ethel. Is there anything that you guys are doing in particular as you train? Either conversations, actual conversations you want to have, specific weapon choices that you are practicing with. I'm assuming axes, but if there's anything else, Walter is using his long sword.
All I have for an axe is my great axe, so I was planning on going with my sickle because that's about the same size of a hand axe.
Very close.
Kind of trying to go with the same size, like one-handed, two-handed, just kind of showing her the proper grips and like some cool spin tricks and how to dodge and like block attacks with the handle.
We're doing
whatnot.
this in her room, right? In
Yeah.
Una's room.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is like a fine space, but it's not huge.
Which like
yeah.
I'm
but
not trying to hurt her. I'm just
Well, no. Ethel's just gonna be a little more forthcoming with information if you're in a private spot. So she will like do casual chat, but it'll be like, I really haven't practiced using this since I left Clyde to die in a literal ditch. And by left Clyde to die, I mean, buried him, chopped him up, buried him. This is today is doing a number on me. Can you tell?
Yeah, this is a safe spot. Go off, bestie.
So Ethel is also gonna not be trying to like actually hurt you, but she is trying to like relearn how to use this because she keeps it on her, but she doesn't use this.
I have the hit points.
So...
Yeah, Walter is not being as nice as either of you two are. Especially when Ethel is like, I need to train back up. He's like, well, I'm gonna beat the crap out of my fiance now, so later she knows what the fuck she's doing. So because
that's fine.
So whenever he sees one of you is winning, this is sort of a three-way fight. Walter has his sword out. Whenever one of you is gaining ground, that is the person he turns on, and then it's a 2-on-1 versus whoever is winning. So then it's like Asunar and Walter fighting you, Ethel, with your one weapon. And as soon as like Asunar's overpowering, he switches around and starts fighting Asunar with you. So basically he is just continuously changing the balance. So you guys, not that Asunar needs any practice, but like Walter needs a little bit and you definitely need some. So he's just making sure that practice actually gets in.
I do have one question for you, Vinny.
Sure.
I also have one spell. It's a cantrip, I think, because I am a high elf.
Mm-hmm.
Is that spell affected?
No, you can use that.
I can't.
That's
okay.
racial
I was like,
bind.
I can't practice it because it's a damage spell, and I don't really want to like hit Una or Walter with that right now. But I would like to know if I can feel like I can access it.
No, you feel your innate lineage abilities are capable of being used.
Cool.
Everything that is given to you by the powers vested above, nah, home slice.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess follow up feats. Does that include feats or not? Not that it matters because my one feat is a warcaster, but still.
You can use it if someone runs away from you. You can cast the one cantrip you have. Yes. It's literally the one thing you can do with those two things. Yes, you're fine to do that combo. You guys are able to trade off back and forth. There is not a combat roll that is not based on just literal fighting. So we're gonna do this. Ethel, roll me an athletics check with advantage. We'll count this as what is technically your training.
Don't have dice out yet. Hold on.
You don't have dice out for a D&D game?
To be fair, neither do I. I use my phone because I don't know how many times I'm going to need to roll. So I use this thing.
You also don't know how many dice you're going to need to roll. Athletics check, you said?
Yes.
I love that your dice tray is Vincent Van Gogh. I approve.
It's not even a real dice tray. It's the lid to an actual cardboard box.
Even better.
It had Van Gogh mugs in it, so it's like I was about to say, oh, it's like the lid to it.
Better.
It's the lid to a shoebox. It's too tiny to be a lid to a shoebox.
Yeah, that's an 8. That's a whole 8.
Oh, Ethel's doing her best.
Cool. You can have a 1d4 that you can use to either add to an attack roll, a damage roll, or your AC for one attack.
Okay.
Thanks to the additional training that Asunar is giving you. It would have been higher if you roll better.
Yeah, no, it's okay. This is not my strong suit. Clearly.
And no, Nova, you're fine. I was just wanting to get back into that. Cool. Final things checking as you guys train, Cinn, and try and return. Any final things that we want to get done with words, names, Temerity and Connie at the police station before break?
I guess my question is, does Vito come back?
Yeah.
Okay. With the other flowers.
What other flowers? You guys have you guys have written all the other ones down.
No, we have, but to keep up appearances, she was gonna translate all of them for him.
Oh, then yes, for that, for the whole
for that, yeah. So just hand wave that, but then also having seen his notepad where he was like, "Boss is acting strange."
Mhm.
She'll go, Vito, I'm sure you're probably really tired and probably swamped right now with another murder on your hands, but if you have time after work today, perhaps come by the Heavens View Collective and we'll compare notes further.
I'm double checking because I've been with Temerity a few times. Are you specifically hitting on me, or are we talking about an actual thing?
I am very much not into men.
That's totally cool. Double checking.
That's fair.
Yeah, you see his note that his girl boss is gaslighting and gatekeeping him, and tell him to come hang out later. Temerity, any final things or sharing that you want to do with either of these two before heading off back to the collective?
Well, thank you for always being so helpful. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, no worries. I will come try to share some additional information later, and I would definitely like to see you later again as well tonight. Whether that visit is tonight or not is a whole separate discussion. He goes to give you a kiss on the hand, Temerity, as you guys head out. Closes the door behind unless y'all try to stop him for anything else, and yeah, we can say you guys head back to the collective.
I'll kind of flick his butt with my tail.
Again, yeah. This is
Yeah.
twice thing that has now happened. Cool.
As soon as we're clear of the police station and we're like heading back to the collective, Kanitae will grab Temerity by the arm, pull him close, and go, he knows something's up with his boss.
This is good news.
It means we might have an ally. So we should talk to him tonight, hopefully.
Are we gonna tell him everything?
That's why we should go back and discuss with the group.
Fair enough.
On that note,
That's it.
we are going to head to break. Remember, if you want to pay some bits to add to the collection to help out these people, please go ahead and do so. We now have merch. It is so weird to say that. I love that I can say that now. And yeah, we will be back in a few minutes to do some more chaos. So you don't get that message.
The crying.
Smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation. And she
That's amazing. Probably the least liked. Things that smelled awful, ratty mud off the street. And Onolove explained it as, if you give even the worst thing a chance to be better, there's a good chance it might happen.
Put it back, put it back, put it back, put it back!
I put it back!
I mean, when you take it out because you are strong, you feel like whatever it was attached to on the inside it snaps away from. So like it's like pulling out a weed. So like you can put it back on top, but it's just gonna sit there. It's not gonna be in the ground again, so to speak.
We definitely just killed this guy. Like killed this guy. Oh fuck.
And hang out and have some family time crossover. Yeah, you're able to...
I mean, might as well teach them how to do it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know how to make a healing potion.
Yep.
And remember, a family that heals together feels together.
Family that fights together might die together.
This is also potentially true.
Regardless, someone's gonna take a knee.
As you guys get to spend some time as halflings, we can run through large creatures. I'm going to run between its legs and try to get his attention over here and say, hey, you're gonna stop that now.
His head does turn towards you, and the eyes light up again to blast, but as you come around and confront it in that way, there is a delay in the moment, and it gives Ave a moment to act before that fires off.
5e monk class things just by typing in crazy gun monk in Google.
That sounds
surprising.
That sounds super correct. Yeah, Kensai
Yeah,
monks with guns are really...
Technically speaking, thanks to Tasha's, gun monk can officially be a thing.
It is. I made a bunch. It was great.
Oh my God.
It was really fun.
I hate this!
Oh, they were great.
Next to Arc, Crazy Gun Monks. Party
Yes.
name.
Yeah, sure. I'll recommend that to the Dark Arc people. Right. Do you guys want to go get tattoos?
Fuck this.
Yes, tattoos. And
I would
then
like a
yes,
maybe
tattoo, Papa.
Stab me, daddy.
You didn't like that, Connie? I mean, Mel.
I got worse. It got worse when
When Nova talked?
Yes.
Yeah, I do that. I'm sorry.
Smartass.
that doesn't count
I know
as a
it, but,
spoiler
like-
for
Here, this is got multiple.
that. It doesn't.
This is such a problem tonight. Fuck. Anyway, the problem is it's because Ken keeps talking.
I guess I'll just shut the fuck up.
I guess I'll just
Just
shut
do like your
fuck
bliss
up.
voice for Kid instead or something. Just use a different
No,
voice.
it's fine. It's fine.
Which bliss voice is the question?
Is one of them Southern?
No. No.
Funny
You're
shit.
good.
It's funny as
It
shit.
hurts now.
Yeah, full stress to full laughter does that.
I'm gonna mute now. I'll be right back.
You go do your thing.
because I'm not sure I understand.
Is she acting good because she thinks acting good is going to keep everybody together, or is she just acting good because she got it all out of her system the night before?
She got most of it out of her system, so she's mellowed out.
Okay, that's all I was
for
asking.
now.
Mellowette? Like just a little mellow? A small mellow?
She's
You
mellowed
had
out.
to see that coming.
I'm hanging up now.
Hi, Mel.
My
Something-
grandfather loves box wine, so maybe this is actually a good thing.
What's up, Asunar?
Something that is at least older than 15 years.
In a box?
In a box.
Do boxes live that long?
Absolutely not.
I just
This
enjoy the phrase. These
conversation.
boxes live that long.
This conversation.
Emphasis on live.
This is how I die, folks. Goodbye. I really want like pixie form of like Eldritch Blast.
That's not me, though.
All right, Mickey Mouse.
Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
Sid gets a sending message and just hears in their minds.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Here's,
Oh, fuck.
here's, Mama, I haven't failed you yet. Much improved. Where the hell have you been? Miss you. Fuck 'em up.
I will say you don't get that message.
What?
What?
You're not playing that character right now. You don't know what's going on. Sid, you have a nice
Okay.
daydream about a message from maybe.
Oof.
Vinny. Ow.
Vincent, the fuck?
There is the pale visage.
Shh, go read it.
That looked pretty wild. I liked it. I think there's a reason that he made it so we couldn't buy it even with our combined wealth.
Is it alright? Vinny?
Hmm?
Is it alright if I read it out loud, the description?
Hell yeah.
Okay. With a spiderweb crack on the center forehead gilded with star metal, this pure white mask is made of a singular white drag. Vincent!
Vinny?
Vinny! A singular white dragon scale. Peering through the mask, you see the world in odd hues and shades. You gain +2 to your AC and intimidation skill when attuned.
Dude! First of all, the Ivory Queen has some ways to get us out of the city. From here, that might be easier to get to than the greenhouse, especially considering how far the greenhouse is from us, and the fact that we neglected to remember that the city sells watermelon that lets you see through invisibility and disguise self. So,
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, there's magical fruit. It's kind of normal now, so I kind of forgot to think about it. But there's magic fruit that makes you do all wonder of things. It's really, really fun. But one of those is see basically into the ethereal plane.
I can't fucking wait to leave this place. What the fuck is this fucking hellscape?
But it's so
where you've got
interesting.
weird ass magic fruit.
The party is lightly interrogated, sees Leon tied up and exhausted. He was in magic people cuffs, like with all the fingers. It was fun. We are accepted into the tribe, given jobs and a place to stay for the night, and instructed to report back in the morning for more stuff. Scaldy runs into her brother, shoots him in the foot.
A classic.
They do a little
Classic
talking.
Scaldy.
Yeah.
That moment did become like a defining moment for Scaldy as a personality trait.
I do love I remember so clearly, it was like, you see your brother there, and then there's just this pause, and you had to be like, what do you do? And then the pause lingered, and then it was, shoot him in the foot. Just total throwaway.
I was thinking of which was the least damaging to shoot.
I mean, there's people. But there's not like a lot of people, but people.
Oh, I didn't know. I assumed we were the only 4 in the shop, so that's my mistake.
Well, I mean, his shop is kind of like an outdoor stall. Like, again, he's literally like that guy from the opening from Aladdin, where it's like it's
No, the face.
My
I want
mistake.
that. I want that face as our new group
Please
chat.
no. Please no.
It's happening.
Seriously, me. For fuck's sake.
You get purple.
What?
What? Don't worry about it.
Mask that you got, the pale visage. I did update that.
Cool.
So I'm gonna send you the updated version.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
The mask called the pale visage that Lyra found so far back.
Great.
So
Just great.
all I had it marked down as, I don't think it had a name as far as I knew. I knew it was a white scaled mask that when I wore it allowed me
it's
to
a
do
dragon
full
scale
grip.
mask. Yep.
But it would allow, I could feel something looking through the mask with me, so I didn't use it that often.
That really sounds like Tiamat.
It really does
right
now.
There.
Yeah.
If you were
Fuck Tiamat.
face, so Tiamat
Vinny?
could look through your eyes.
Yeah.
Vinny. Vinny, look at me. Look at me, Vinny. Go fuck yourself.
We haven't even started playing yet.
I'm having some emotions.
All the live long round. How are we feeling, guys?
I am not feeling good.
Just fucking peachy.
Cool.
Did I take any damage from that real quick?
Oh, you took 14 damage. Thank you for reminding me.
So happy to help.
Never remind him.
Hey, did we have homework last night?
That was
I'm not drowning.
that was
I am sleeping so good.
that was kind of
Having a nice time.
that was kind of the
This
energy
is a
that
good
got
afternoon.
tossed there.
No,
Funny
you're
shit.
good.
It's funny as
It
shit.
hurts now.
Yeah, full stress to full laughter does that.
I'm gonna mute now. I'll be right back.
You go to your thing.
Sid gets a sending message and just hears in their minds.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Here's,
Oh fuck.
here's, Mama, I haven't failed you yet. Much improved. Where the hell have you been? Miss you. Fuck 'em up.
I will say you don't get that message.
What?
What?
You're not playing that character right now. You don't know what's going on. Sid, you have a nice daydream about a message from Maybe.
Oof.
Vinny. Ow.
Vincent, the fuck?
Probably the least liked. Things that smelled awful, ratty mud off the street, and Onolove explained it as if you give even the worst thing a chance to be better, there's a good chance it might happen. As halflings, we can run through large creatures. I'm going to run between its legs and try to get his attention over here and say, hey, you're going to stop that now.
His head does turn towards you, and the eyes light up again to blast, but as you come around and confront it in that way, there is a delay in the moment, and it gives Ave a moment to act before that fires off.
The crying.
Smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation, and she
That's amazing.
First of all, the Ivory Queen has some ways to get us out of the city. From here, that might be easier to get to than the greenhouse, especially considering how far the greenhouse is from us, and the fact that we neglected to remember that the city sells watermelon that lets you see through invisibility and disguise self. So...
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. There's magical fruit. It's kind of normal now, so I kind of forgot to think about it. But there's magic fruit that makes you do all wonder of things. It's really, really fun. But one of those is see, basically into the ethereal plane.
I can't fucking wait to leave this place. What the fuck is this fucking hellscape?
But it's so
where you've got
interesting.
weird ass magic fruit.
Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
My grandfather loves boxed wine, so maybe this is actually a good thing.
What's up, Asunar?
Something that is at least older than 15 years.
In a box?
In a box.
Do boxes live that long?
No, absolutely not.
I just
This
enjoy the phrase these
conversation.
boxes live that long.
This conversation.
Emphasis on live.
This is how I die, folks. Goodbye.
Fair. Is the pale visage.
Shh, go read it.
That looked pretty wild. I liked it. I think there's a reason that he made it so we couldn't buy it even with our combined wealth.
Is it alright? Me?
Hmm?
Is it alright if I read it out loud, the description?
Hell yeah. Hi guys, we are back. We've had some people buy some merch, which is fun, including myself. And we also got some bit support, which was great. So now we have a D4 inspiration. We have 1 reroll and 1 auto crit for people who may need them. We are good to set back up. So after a few hours, we'll say probably 3 or 4 hours, because y'all were doing various amounts of tasks. So you guys basically took the morning and a little bit of the afternoon to go do your various things during this lovely moon day. And FYI, for anyone who has looked in the sky, because no one has bothered checking, there was supposed to be a full moon tonight. There's no moon in the sky.
Vinny?
Just for anyone who cares about moon things.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Vinny, I've lived in the city my whole life. How weird is that?
Was,
Scale of 1 to 10.
Since there was supposed to be a full moon,
11.
Really fucking weird.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 12.
Okay.
But either way, you guys all are heading back to the collective at random times. As you guys do that, Connie, roll me a d20.
Oh, fuck me.
So much fun doing it to Mel.
Buy me dinner first.
I really dislike when Vinny asks this of me because it terrifies the shit out of me. 14.
Cool. As you begin walking back in with, who were you walking in with?
Temerity.
Right. As you and Temerity walk back in, you watch yourself walking out.
What? Walking out of the collective?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys literally are on the steps as you guys are trading places.
Ooh. Hold the fuck up.
You look at yourself. You look back. The outfit's a little different. A little more dark clothes, cloak, stuff like that. Looks at you. You see yourself look at you. Give yourself a smile and keep on walking.
Oh fuck no! I am chasing that bitch.
Did I see that?
She's just walking. Yeah, no. Yeah, oh yeah,
Can
you
I
see
cast
that.
a spell?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, let me. I didn't have my fucking sheet. I have my old sheet. Make sure I pick the right spell. I would like to cast.
As Temerity looks for a spell, what are
Charm
you?
person.
Sure. What are you doing? As that's going on.
Oh god.
Kanitae. What's the roll for charm person?
Wisdom.
Ooh, picked a good stat. She rolled really well. 18.
2 points.
She looks at you as she's walking away. It goes from the smile to you, but then feels that and look towards you.
Can I?
Keeps walking.
Wow, that's
spell magic on
I've
that
seen
bitch.
that before.
Dispel magic. Yeah, that auto works on this. You watch as the visage disappears. You watch standing in your place, long-haired Erjanasi wearing a magical hat on top, looks at her hands as all of that fades away, looks at the bracers on her arms, goes, Hi, Connie.
Kanitae pulls out her long sword. What the fuck are you doing here?
I thought we were trading information. You came into my area. And you're in the well of knowledge for free information. You're not going to kick me out of a free public area for information, are you? I'll go to the cops. She slowly just starts walking backwards away from you unless you're stopping her.
I feel like Kanitae's gonna rush her with her sword and try to hit her.
Alright, roll an attack.
She's fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit, she was here the whole time.
This is your ex, right?
Realistically, would us inside...
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Okay, +6. That's only a 15.
That is literally her AC.
Fuck yeah. Oh shit, damage. I have to roll damage. I'm sorry. I got so
flustered.
Fuck. Okay. D8 +3 because it was one-handed. 6 damage.
6 damage, cool. You step into her. She looks like actually offended by that, by the actual stab, and just gives you a look, disengages as a bonus action, and then just yeets and starts running.
Eldritch Blast.
Sure, as you're doing that, Temerity, anything that you're doing as you see this go on, we're gonna...
I probably yell out really loudly, Zafira, get your ass back here! And Eldritch Blast her.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let Temerity do a thing first,
yeah.
since we're in, like, a small combat initiative order.
Yep.
I suggest you listen to her and turn around, and I'll cast Suggestion.
Ooh, smart. What's that save?
Also Wisdom.
Right. She really has low wisdom, so
that's
15?
all I got. Oh, it fails!
Alright. Get your ass back here was what, I was gonna say Bliss, what Connie wants. So she stops on her heels and just turns around towards you. Hands on her hips in like an annoyed fashion, because she knows there's a spell on her doing this. She just walks back towards you. Folds her arms.
Okay, so then I guess Eldritch Blast is not necessary.
Do something. Bind her. I don't know. What the fuck is the point of this?
Oh my god.
Find me.
Oh my god.
We're not in that stage anymore.
Oh, she looks... Oh my god. I'm so pissed right now. I'm so mad.
I really to do with this. Corinne, stop. Your grabby hands.
I feel like while... my hands are sweating right now. Fuck. I feel like while... No, you know what? She's just gonna go, you're gonna come inside and you're gonna explain yourself. Right now.
Am I?
You are.
I was told to get my ass back here.
I'm just gonna grab her by the collar and start dragging her into the collective.
As you do that, she's gonna put 2 fingers under your chin and just say, love it when you're like this. And she is going to whip her Cape of the Mont Blanc around and teleport away. Yeah, if you guys can have them, yeah, guess what? Other people can have them too, bitches.
Is that technically casting as a spell? Or I wouldn't know, so...
It technically is, but you'd have to use... If you have Counterspell, you can give it a shot.
You have Counterspell.
You can give it a shot if you want.
Okay, if you're willing to let me give it a shot, yeah, I'll use counterspell as a reaction.
Roll. It is a DC 14 charisma check for you.
For me.
Hmm? It is a 4th level spell, so it automatically succeeds off of counterspell.
I will cast it at 4th level.
You didn't say that beforehand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also, you wouldn't know Dimension Door is a 4th level.
That is... Actually, I would. I have Dimension Door.
Oh. Roll me an intelligence check. You're in the heat of the moment.
Fair. Totally fair. That's a 19 on the die, plus my intelligence.
All right. Yep.
I don't know what my intelligence is.
That's fine.
I'm
19,
scared.
19 automatically succeeds. She goes and you see the very cocky attitude. Just trying to... Oh, shit.
You're not that slick.
Normally I am. If you are... I don't know what you guys are doing. If you guys are trying to contain her in any form, she's going to try to get away from you. So short of like an athletics versus acrobatics check, there's not much you can do unless you guys got words you're going to use that's going to convince her otherwise.
Did that as a reaction, so can I follow up with casting suggestion and say, go inside?
Sure.
Okay.
Wisdom save, right?
Yes, and yeah. Okay, that is a 2nd level. Wisdom has to meet or beat a 15.
Yeah, no, she's not great at wisdom. She rolled a 12. Temerity, as you see Connie like recast a suggestion on her to like continue her marching forward into the place, this time through gritted teeth, because now she's under the command to do something she did not want to do. Is there anything you would like to do, Temerity?
I'll summon Hex and have him play like flank guard, like flying, and if she tries to like turn around or something, he'll be standing there like turn around.
It's the for me. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, you add a little extra fury to your army, a little bit of hex, and she starts walking forward inside.
Can I like remove her cape as she walks in, her cloak? Let me just take that for you.
All right, she's gonna stab you if you do that.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Yeah, nothing that you said that she had to not attack.
Nope. That's fair, but if we get inside, hopefully somebody else will see and will help us.
Right.
So
she stabs you with the dagger real quick. You take 6 damage. Look at you twinning.
She just immediately stabs me.
If you try to reach for her magic item, would you not also stab someone who's trying to steal
something? No, but doesn't she have to roll an attack is what I'm asking.
She rolled a 19 on the die plus 8, so I
kind of
just
we're good. Yeah, no, we're good. Yep, we're good.
I usually will offer the number if it's feasibly something I think you're going to block.
That's fair. Yeah. How much damage was that?
It was 6 damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
She stabs your hand as you try to reach for her jacket, and she's her cloak, and it's like, no, excuse me.
I cast a spell magic in her cloak.
Well, it already used its effect, so it can't do it again.
Oh, it can only do it once.
Yeah,
okay,
so
great.
once a day
Love
thing.
That.
Love that. So you walk inside, and for shits and giggles, just so it's not a bunch of separate people, we can say the rest of you guys like went to get some water or something as a group, and run into in the lobby of the collective. You see Kanitae, this Air Genasi, and Temerity walking this individual inside.
I recognize the Air Genasi, wouldn't I?
You would. You were at our wedding. Connie looks pissed.
I'm like mid walk down the stairs, and then Asunar is just willing herself to not go into a full-blown rage right now, seeing this bitch, because I know how much she hurt Connie. I'm literally just like wood splintering on the handle of my sickle, being like, why are you here?
Connie's just kind of like starting to tear off her sleeve to like bind up her hand. She just goes, Una, do you have any rope?
No,
Oh,
but
you
I have
should have
some
just
spare fabric.
asked. I have some of that.
That's not surprising.
Connie actually gives Temerity a look like, I shouldn't be surprised.
Ethel, I don't
Asunar
think
just
I've
walks over. She just walks over to the nearest curtain, uses her sickle, and just slices it down to make makeshift rope.
Love that.
Strips of fabric.
Curtain or
Oh, I'm
tapestry?
sorry. I had that wrong. I have
I
have
don't-
chains and manacles.
Probably
not
That
probably
also
it's-
works.
A curtain
My
is more
bad.
replaceable than a tapestry.
Cool. Thank you. Well, I'd
Please
at
don't
least
do that.
offer, because there are some very nice tapestries in here. So I was just curious if that we were just gonna.
I'm seeing emotion.
Sorry.
I'm seeing emotion. What? I'm seeing the no.
Oh yeah, it was because of the tapestry. Don't do it.
Yeah, no.
Ethel,
Even
I had
Asunar
not
knows not to fuck with the tapestry.
seen this woman in person before, but she has seen Connie disguised as this woman. So she's just gonna kind of tug on Cinn and lean over and just be like, by the way, that is Connie's ex.
Oh, I can see why everyone doesn't look too friendly.
Yeah.
The friendliest bunch. After she walks inside, you get ready to start manacling her, and she immediately says, "You asked me to come inside. I'm in here. Do you want to actually have a civil conversation? Because apparently you didn't in the underground. So if you'd like to have a civil conversation now, we can do it. But if you try putting those things on me, this is going to get a lot worse."
You're no fun.
Well,
This way. And Connie's just gonna lead her to
you want me to go somewhere private with a bunch of people, including you and you? Hi, Asunar. That want to kill me? No, thank you. We're gonna stay right here. Public eyes. You see, Bexhill is up a level, looking at some books, and looks over and just gives a wave.
Just a more quiet corner, Zafira, not in the middle of the front fucking entrance.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You try anything.
You've got attitude. I like it.
What should I try, Asunar? What do you think I should try?
Damn, she's better than me. I need
I've already
to
killed 2 people. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty again.
Sounds fun.
Ethel's gonna raise her hands up and just be like, all right. Clearly, this is a heated situation.
Ethel, I'm sorry.
I know. Connie and I had
There's no-
several nights drinking over 5 for this.
There's no calming me down right now.
Una, take it easy.
Going for a walk. And she just walks out of the room.
Where do you walk?
She's gonna go kill 2 more people.
Where do you walk out of curiosity?
Just away from the room.
Okay.
Just
So
looking
elsewhere
at
in
this,
the collective is what I'm
looking
getting.
at this bitch is setting her up.
I was gonna say, in the collective or going outside?
Oh no, I'm staying in the collective, just out of the immediate room.
Gotcha.
Probably back up to her room, just stabs the wall a few times.
Like you do. That poor room. Anyways, the 4 of you, so we have Cinn, Temerity, Connie, and Ethel. You are here with...
Where's Trine?
Oh yeah, Trine's here too.
Yeah, where's
Sorry.
Trine?
Trine is...
this is boring.
Also here. Also fascinated, also taking notes. You see Zafira just has her hands crossed in the middle, seems to be behaving best as she wants to right now, and is just looking between all of you, being like, "So
Can we go find a table to sit at and talk or something? Because it's a library. It's got I'm assuming
Could you bring
tables.
some pastry?
I can get another batch going.
Make mine low-cal.
Okay.
Always.
Fucking kill you. Yeah, you guys are able to find a table nearby that you can easily hop onto.
I kind of
Oh, hi dear.
my expression is pissed, but I gesture to a seat for her to sit.
She does the cool kid thing, flips around the
Yeah.
seat,
Mm-hmm.
sits on it.
Fucking bitch. I'd like to try to shake her hand if she'll let me. Reach out to shake it.
Yep, she actually, like, with a smile, and then, like, looks to the rest of, specifically Connie, but looking around like, some manners, that's astounding, and doesn't say that, but just, like, there's an expression, and goes back to sitting.
At the expression, I'm just gonna say, oh, I can see why Connie talked about you so much.
What are you doing here?
Looking around.
More detail than that.
So, apparently I went to the Thieves' Cantina and got some information, and I thought I would come try to find the information that I was looking for, because apparently I was looking for a bunch of information. Do you happen to remember, you watch her, like, touch a ring and throw it outside the front door, like, do you remember what the information was that I was looking for? And after a moment, you watch walking in two people in similar roguish outfits that both stand by the entranceway. One of them just shouts, I think you're looking for some type of dead person? Don't know, boss. It seems real weird that you'd be caring about that. And looks back at you, Connie, and is like, yes, I was looking for some dead person. Why was I doing that, Kanitae?
Because you were a concerned citizen trying to help with a murder investigation.
I'm so much more benevolent than I thought I was. This is great. Well, as long as it's something as simple as that. Now, I seem to misplace my information somewhere in the collective, and went into a couple rooms, couldn't find them there. Went around to the libraries, I couldn't find them there. Wouldn't know where that information is, would you?
I bet Trine is eating this.
If anyone who is distracted wants to make an inside check on Trine, can go ahead and do it.
I do. I don't care about anything.
I think you know what, the only one who really would be Temerity, because Temerity is the only one who understands.
Yeah, Temerity's the only one who knows. Pardon me while I just, I was cold before, but now I'm not.
When D&D makes you sweat.
Vinny apparently has this effect on me.
It's only the characters that piss you off, though, which is the best
it's
thing.
always the characters that make me mad. Oh, yeah.
12.
Insight check?
12.
12. Trine seems to be looking at this with the general interest that Trine, under the moonlight, or moon, during a moon day, would be paying attention to things going on in front of her. Doesn't seem too out of luck. Yeah, so, yeah. To sum up, she would like the information that she apparently paid for. So...
Yeah.
I paid for it.
No, she did. It was on her tab. Remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Connie just kind of like bites her lip in annoyance, so she just goes, well, the general gist was what a kind of benevolent person the individual was, the deceased was, and there wasn't much beyond that.
Did you
described like basic life events, described,
Did you
their partnership, their child, and that was it.
Did you throw away the paper? Did you throw away the dossier?
No.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Give it to me. Because I paid for it. I'm assuming... is this part of our divorce? Is this part of your collection for the month? Do I owe you some back payments? Do we want to call it even now?
Well, you haven't paid me shit.
Well, then I guess I came to say you're welcome for... And then she goes to stand up.
Connie's gonna like step in front of her.
And Hex is gonna step in front of Connie. But it's like an mid-air step.
She looks genuinely confused at Hex's appearance. It's like, do you...
Can I just say Asunar never went to her room, she's just standing outside the room.
Okay.
You're
Fair
like
enough.
T-posing at the top of the stairs, backlit. It's terrifying. Okay. She's
To be fair,
settling.
Una T-posing at the top of the stairs would be absolutely
Correct.
terrifying.
It would.
Just to allow, before Connie has a reaction, Cinn and Ethel and Temerity, is there anything that you guys are specifically doing as this is going on?
This whole interaction is very entertaining. I'll admit, 100%. But I'm not getting involved, other than just giving mental, like silent mental directions to Hex to assist in whatever it seems like Connie wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you insight try?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But yeah,
I missed the answer to the roll. I would like. I would like to know, in our chats over the fire, Mel.
Sure, go ahead.
Did you express interest in killing Zafira, or just in because that definitely would have been on the table in those conversations.
So Ethel knew of Zafira at the time before Kanitae got back together with her. So things weren't that bad yet. When they re-met here in Wishfall, I don't think Connie's really had the time to sit down and explain like what exactly like caused their divorce. But she did explain that they got married and then they divorced for shitty reasons. Connie's gonna step in front of Zafira and ask her in Primordial, because I'm pretty sure Genasi all know Primordial. She's gonna ask her, do you have anything to do with these murders that are happening in the city? Oh, shoot. She's just gonna ask her point blank.
That's fair. Does know Primordial. Also Thieves' Cant. I don't know if Thieves' Cant is.
Yeah, Connie also knows Thieves' Cant. I'm pretty sure it was Zafira who taught her, but
Probably, yeah. Yeah, so Primordial. Who else speaks Primordial? Out of curiosity, does anyone else know that? So I'm curious if anyone else is hearing it so specifically.
I barely speak Common.
Let me check. I might.
And as that question's going on, Cinn, is there anything you are doing?
Yeah, Cinn is baking, because when Ethel like leaned over and was like, ex-wife, and Cinn had the opportunity to have an escape and avoid the awkward situation, he took that.
Oh yeah.
He could have done it from the next room. It's like, oh, I should probably do this one by hand.
Primordial for you, Asunar?
Yes, I actually have it.
Oh, okay. So you are the one other person who could maybe... Oh, you're not... We could say that you might be able to hear this conversation. If it comes down to it, can make rolls. But yeah, you ask her if she's killed anybody, and she said... Like regular killings, or like the weird ritual ones?
The weird ritual ones.
No. I don't have any ritual things I need to do.
Do you know anybody who would?
I'm gonna make a roll for that, actually.
Yeah, no, regular killings.
She actually, like, sits and thinks about it for a moment. It's like, ritual. Some of the people in the whole body seem weird like that. Also, some of the undertow people. No one in the snare is ritually weird like that. But I don't know enough about their inner workings to know that it's them doing this. We're also not... Most of us don't come topside unless we got a really good reason, like, visiting an ex.
insight check.
Sure. Roll me an insight check.
Do I just do regular or?
You can have advantage.
Oh. I was like, we were married and we've known each other since we were kids. Like, I feel like oh, like fuck for that. Insight +4, 19.
It doesn't seem like it. Like even from like she wanted to make money. Like there were reasons why she did the thing she did.
Mm-hmm.
This ritual, unless for some reason you think this is gonna like make bank for her, or for some reason it seems really out of her wheelhouse. And like she doesn't know magic. Like she knows like stuff that like air genasies would know for magic, but she's not trained in it. So like it seems whatever this crazy ritual is, whether it's like religious based or maybe just like a spell based thing, not her wheelhouse. It doesn't seem like, and she doesn't seem interested. She seems like curious, but she doesn't seem like she's doing it.
She doesn't seem perturbed by it either.
No. Remember that most of the killings, like even though like Shiavon is technically from down below, most of the people being killed are topsiders. So
yeah.
Unless they want to go looking for like the top boss of one of the territories underground, doesn't got a lot to worry about.
Shiavon was. I know she was involved in the underground, but did we ever get if she was snare or undertow?
Did you?
I'm looking for it.
I know. I'm asking the others who may or may not have notes.
Fuck it. She'll just ask her point blank. Did you know Shiavon in Primordial again?
Oh, I mean, yeah. She worked with the snare, but
Yeah, and before that, she was part of a religious uprising that tried to take down the Church of Selune. Know anything about that?
no, that sounds psychotic.
Yeah.
God, floating city people are crazy. Things they do to fill the time. No, not my shtick.
But does the insight check still carry? Like, is
Sure.
she being
Yeah,
truthful with me?
yeah, we'll say
Okay.
it's carrying right. Yeah,
Okay.
she seems to like. I mean, you're like there was like, oh yeah, I know Shiavon. Yeah, no, that religious uprising bullshit. That's kind of weird. Not.
All right. So she'll reach into her bag and pull out the dossier that she got because we never said that they filed it away anywhere in the collective or anything like that, and they
Nope.
shared the information with Trine, and Trine probably wrote everything down, so they don't need it anymore. And she's just gonna shove it into her chest and just say, "Get out of here! Don't come back."
I will get out of here. This place is open to the public, so
Don't come back as me.
she like looks around at like everyone else here. Is like, okay, I got some
Don't
new
come
faces.
back as anybody else.
I
here.
didn't make that promise. She keeps walking.
Nice to meet you, darling.
Do I trip her on the way out?
Do you want to? You're not in the same spot that she is, so you'd have to like throw your sickle on the ground and try to skip it up in the air to like you can do it. I'll let you.
Oh
make a
no,
roll.
I'm standing outside the doorway.
Okay.
And I never said I just had my sickle on me.
True, but I asked if you were standing outside of the collective, which is where she's going to leave.
Oh, no. Like they went to a private like a more
No, she
private
did.
area.
No,
which I
she
assume
didn't. She
was-
stayed
We
in
went
the.
off to like a more quiet table. We didn't end up going
You
to an
guys
actual
stayed
room.
in the. You guys stayed in the lobby.
Oh,
She
okay.
was not
Yeah.
moving to get cornered anywhere. That is not something that she would do.
Okay.
When two of
okay.
you want to murder
Never
her,
mind
nah.
Nah.
Never mind then.
Yeah. So,
I'm not gonna attempt to trip her. I'm just gonna glare at her as she walks away. I'm just leaning against a wall, watching her walk out.
that is fair. Thank you, Yes I'm Baby, for subscribing again. Also, if you guys want to subscribe, that's our new goal, is to get to 35 subscribers. Because if we get that, we get new emotes.
I'm working really hard on them.
Mel is always working very hard on emotes.
I love emotes. They're so fun.
Backed by these two other roguish types, you watch as they just flit off into the distance.
As soon as they're gone, Connie just kind of like almost like falls back into the table a little bit and like half like sits on it, and she just looks exhausted. And angry, but mostly exhausted.
Would Connie be okay with physical touch at the moment? And can I read that?
That's a very good question. I'm gonna say you can try. You could certainly try.
Ethel is gonna move to be next to you, and she will kind of like hover a hand at your back and look at you for consent before she actually touches you.
I think she's kind of just staring at the ground and not really processing who's around her right now. Like she's kind of zoning out a little bit.
We're gonna go for it then. I'm just gonna kind of like rub small circles in your back and be like, "It's cool."
Hex just goes, "What a butthole."
Evil Axis game. Oh, Hex.
Hex speaks and kind of just goes, "Yeah, she's a piece of work."
Do we need to add another set of unfortunate circumstances to our list of future events?
You're diabolical, Ethel.
Not yet, but we can keep that as a plan B. And she kind of like snaps back to attention. We got more important things to talk about anyway.
We have a visitor coming.
Back over now that the bitch is gone.
Please take a moment to process.
Yeah. Una comes back over. You guys can go to somebody's room to like decompress.
Yeah. Well, no, Connie doesn't want to decompress. She wants to talk about what the fuck she found at Vito's office.
Okay.
And explain to everybody and like piece together
Do you want
all
to
the
We should
phrases.
still go to a room for that.
Do you
Yeah,
want to do it in
for
the lobby
sure.
or somebody's room?
No, go
Or-
to a room. Yeah. But there's no decompressing for Connie
Okay.
right now. She's back into work mode.
So whose room has like the big like poster with all the red string that we want to go
Oh, it's
to?
Kanitae's, obviously. Or it's actually probably Una's, because Kanitae just stands there like every evening and just like talks at Una like, what the fuck?
Okay. You guys collectively go back to Una's room.
Most of it.
Yeah. You go back to-
Not all of it, but
you,
most of
you
it.
go, you go back to Una's room. Everything in the room is a wreck except for the poster. Everyone was nice enough to miss the one setup, which was the wall where all the red string was up.
We were very conscious of that spot because we're like, if we mess
I
that
just-
up, we lose progress.
I just sit on my bed, which definitely has a lot of down feathers just scattered all over it. Someone accidentally stabbed a pillow. And that someone, I'm blaming Walter.
Yeah, Walter just raises a hand. She's like, I'll replace it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's fun this way. I just take up a handful and just go in his face.
The whole room's a mess. Sin eventually rejoins you with newly, freshly baked treats.
We got some Danishes. We're trying some new flavors. There's a little bit of mango, which doesn't typically go in Danishes, but you know, you got to be
I'll try.
experimental sometimes. Yep, here we go.
Is that because
I hope it's not rude if I start picking things up and you just see things start like going back and getting picked up. I can cast some mending. I just feel the need to be busy.
Is that because that lady suggested mango that you decided to do mango?
Yes.
Okay.
If there's like
Writes
room
that
somewhere
down.
on the poster, or like Connie starts like scribbling on some
Very
parchment.
suggestible.
I love trying.
Connie starts writing out on a piece of paper the person's first name, the flower quote, and like their race and then like leaves room for any other additional notes, but she does them one by one. So she does Nell, Do, Hale, Shiavan, Ryulum, but she puts in quotations Jane Doe, Lonnie, Nick, and now Judy. And pins it up on the board. And just goes, she'll point at Ryulum's first, specifically the sentence that says, release the chakras, claim each soul. She goes, I don't remember who found that idea that perhaps souls are being stolen from these people, but that seems like a good lead right now. And then points to Judy's name, a full blossom, the perfect 8, and says, I question whether or not we're going to see any murders beyond this point, because there's already been 8 victims.
Unless they're starting up another batch.
And what does the ritual do? We don't know.
Well, when you're saying that Selune was taken out, there hasn't been a moon, that seems like a pretty strong start.
Are you suggesting like a ritual to kill a god? Sin, are you suggesting it's a ritual to kill a god?
I'm just brainstorming. I don't know how these things work. But if I was doing a whole bunch of work, there better be a big payoff. And getting the god out of a picture, that's a pretty big payoff in my book.
Wait, you said that Shiavan was part of a religious uprising against
Shiavan was part of the Church of
Selune.
Shar. And she went underground after the uprising was over.
Shar?
Or a devout
I
follower
think
of Shar
we need to
behind
look
it?
into Shar.
Well,
why would a follower do that without Shar's guidance? Like, who else would want to kill a god but another god?
I can think of a few people.
There aren't like 8 gods, are there? That's not like an obvious piece
No,
of
there's
info.
tons of gods.
Yeah, there's in this universe, there are a lot. Don't worry.
There's so many.
But
is it a multiple of 8?
Only
Oh, if it's a
I'm married
multiple
to
of 8,
one.
I will lose it.
only another god is pretty much strong enough to kill another god, so
Unless you somehow find the power of a god to harness in order to kill another god, and maybe this ritual is it.
Asunar just lays down, like, in the feathers, and is just like, my head hurts.
Mine fucking too.
Presuming the ritualist is in order to kill gods, what
Allegedly.
are the reasons? Presuming, what are the reasons you would want to stop certain members of the population from being able to utilize magic for a certain period of time? With our new knowledge of how godhood actually works, or it's still a theory, but with new knowledge of how godhood actually works, it wouldn't permanently remove it. Yes?
We can't hear you.
Oh, what?
No, I can't hear you, Vinny. I can hear Corinne just fine. I can't hear Vinny.
Can you move your mic closer, Corinne?
Oh.
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
I just feel like I'm breathing into the microphone when I do that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just did.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then enunciate. I don't know what else I can say.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So but the reasons you would want to kill a god, to eliminate a god's power permanently if you do not understand how gods work, or if you understand how mantles work, like we kind of just theorized and learned about, then to at least temporarily remove the source of a god's power, but to what end? Shar might be interested in doing it, if only because Chris replaced the last mantle holder, who was the current Shar's lover. But that seems delayed, doesn't it? Unless she tried once and it didn't work, and so she's trying again? More effectively this time?
Maybe.
It could also
Chris
be.
ever say how long they've had the mantle for?
Did the book say? Because I definitely did not ask the god.
Probably not an exact thing. Roll me a luck check. Just roll me d20.
It's 13.
No exact time.
Hang on.
Still, since things are going to be resolved when the next mantle shows up, whoever's working out there isn't done. If you're smart enough to take out a mantle, you're probably smart enough to see the bigger picture and to have another 8 people in mind. So the thing we got to figure out is how they're choosing these targets so we can see who we need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, the question is, how do you choose who becomes the next mantle holder of a god? How does that happen? Who decides that? Is it
And
the other
why
gods?
would you
How do
need
you
to
get a
take
perfect
someone's
8?
soul to do it?
That's also a good question. Hey, Trine.
Hmm?
I don't suppose you have time for some researching on souls or maybe rituals involving the number 8 or
God killings in the past?
yeah, god killings, anything like that.
Yes. Would they be called god killings?
That's a very good question.
Or just periods where there was a lack of connection with a certain god?
Oh yeah, researching
A
periods and
godicide.
researching periods of points in time where gods were not active or seemed dormant.
I believe deicide is the name for killing gods.
But it could also just be like if you look in scripture, there are periods of time when the people were cursed and so were no longer being blessed by their god's power.
So was it really just being cursed, or was it just that the god was no longer present?
Precisely.
Yeah, I can research that.
There's a variety of topics to cover. We might want to make this a group effort.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you guys had other things you also wanted to do. I mean, I don't mind being the one who does some of the research. Other people are welcome to
Oh
join.
yes, we have to do the stakeouts still.
Yeah, books are really boring, I'm not going to lie. If you want to handle the looking at that, that'd be great. You're probably much faster than I am anyway.
I am so glad that you said it. I didn't want to be the one this time.
Look, I
still
was
don't
hired
feel
for my
comfortable.
special set of skills. I hope that wasn't reading.
What's up, Asunar?
I'll read because I still don't want to go outside.
I was gonna say, weren't you supposed to get a disguise? Weren't we gonna get your hair done? Temerity was gonna bring you somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a disguise would be safe.
Yeah.
He is one angry dwarf.
Well,
oh god.
He's doing great. If anyone wants to place bets on him, he's on a roll down there. I will
He's
happily
an angry elf.
round. That was an easy 50 gold.
Oh shit.
It's the fun thing is you're both hyping it up in the best way, but you're also underselling how psychotically much she was murdering at the same time. It's really great.
We may also want to talk to or rather clue in Vito. He has suspicions about his boss.
He's supposed to be coming tonight.
Maybe.
I say we bring him into the babes.
Sure, if he can keep it to himself until we have enough proof, or until we can.
How much trouble will I get in for intimidating a cop?
I don't know. He's pretty reasonable.
He seemed pretty excited once I translated the flowers for him.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll just trust us.
I don't think you need to intimidate a cop.
I don't think we would necessarily need to intimidate Vito. But
However,
it's just a question of whether or not he can keep the information to himself until the time is appropriate.
Can anyone detect thoughts?
I think so.
X is like, Well, I can't detect thoughts, but you know, I'd say I'm a pretty good judge of those little micro facial expressions, you know. My voice
Yeah,
just
I can
synced
cast
now.
detect
Sorry.
Yep, I
Makes
have
people
detect
uncomfortable
thoughts.
to know that.
Okay.
But yeah.
So a couple of you guys can.
Yep.
So, if I was able, I would do it myself. But, I might try anyway. But unlikely that it will work, considering everything. I would like to, when he gets here, when we start discussing with him, to not give him everything so we can detect thoughts, so we can just make sure that it's safe, so that someone who can detect his thoughts and does see can just clue us in that it is actually going to be appropriate to discuss with him, only because of his boss.
Do you guys plan on doing other things? We'll say probably like 3 or 4 in the afternoon right now. Again, it's a moon day, so it looks like night no matter what anyways. Do you guys want to do anything else before waiting for Vito? Because we can wait for Vito and let you have a conversation with him, and we could probably do a little bit of that now, or we can just prep you guys doing other things for next time.
I was gonna say, I know we were planning on going and sending some people after Clyde, and since Cinn doesn't really know Vito and would trust you guys to say or hide however much information you wanted, if there was going to be a Clyde,
I think they
group,
wanted you there for detect thoughts, though.
Una can also detect thoughts, and if Una
Right.
can't really leave the collective right now, then she can handle that.
That is fair. Cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, Connie's probably going to stay behind to research, like similar events where gods have gone, like, sort of seem to have gone dormant, or if there's anything about, like, legends about, like, killing gods and shit like that. Like, there's a whole host of subjects for her to look up right now. You know, at some point, she's going to want to talk to Aunt aplenty. But that's maybe for later. So,
cool.
If we're doing research on gods, though, we should talk to Aunt Plenty.
For sure, yeah.
All right, so Cinn is going to stake out Clyde. Is anyone else doing that?
I mean, I feel like I need to be here for the Vito conversation.
You can.
I mean, yeah, you guys can like probably make it back in time.
Oh, I can do both?
Yeah, you can probably do both.
Sure, we can set up for you guys doing a task, and then we'll have Vito come afterwards. So, Cinn, who's gonna go with Cinn to stake out then? So you guys have probably 4 or 5
I
hours.
want to go to the stakeout. We got a
5
pregame.
You send Hex with me.
Oh shit, I could do that. You
yeah,
could tell
do
me
that.
what's going on.
Right,
Oh my god. Our voices are just gonna meld together. It's horrible.
Alright, so we got Cinn and Hex. Any other people? Okay.
I would love to. I'm worried about, like, if we get caught.
Yeah.
Ethel's the most likely person that he would remember.
Okay. I'm just asking because I want to clarify where everyone's going and what everyone's doing.
You can kill him again.
I have significantly less power now than I did before when I killed him the first time.
You'll have friends.
Connie is going to do research, which Trine is the best person to help because she gives advantage and has guidance, so Trine's going to help you out with that. At the very least, we have Temerity and Una, because Una can do detect thoughts, talking with Vito. Ethel, are you going to stay and talk with Vito, or I don't think you can technically make anything else besides maybe also making a roll for research. It's up to you which you would want to do, either research or conversation with Vito. Or stakeout. So many options. What do you want to do?
I think I will stick around for the conversation with Vito, because if I remember correctly, Connie is the one who knew that Rylan was acting weird and told me, so like then we have a...
I found out from Con Nevermore that Rylan was not Rylan.
Right. But then we have at least like another person who's there as like a witness.
Yeah.
to be like, yeah,
Confirmed.
this is the information we have.
It's confirmed.
Cool. So we have stakeout team, we have research team, and we have sharing information team. That is our setup for next time. Because it's 10:07. And... How'd that go?
Fuck you.
Cool. All right. Awesome session, guys. Any final things people would like to plug before we sign off?
Go check out our merch. I'm gonna put the store link in again.
Yeah.
The Storyteller Squad.
It's very good. I've caught up on all of it. I love everybody. Go listen to it. It's very good.
It's on my next thing to binge. I'm catching up on another show.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you again to my new friends for coming.
Yes,
Yeah,
hello,
we
and
love
thank
new
you, new
friends.
friends, for putting us over 100 followers. That's so cool of you.
If you want to come chill with us on Discord, we're in the middle working that out, but we'd always love new people to talk to on there as well. You're welcome to come check that out. In addition to that, this week we have Thursday, we have Earth Arc. Friday, we have Gentlefolk Saga, and then we are taking Sunday off because I have a wedding, so I can't DM, but we may have something if people are bored and feel like filling that space. If not, it'll be an empty spot for maybe a rerun. And yeah, then
Monster Prom with Sin?
Oh my god.
I would love to play.
In character
so-
Monster Prom with Sin?
Potentially. We'll work it out after stream.
we need less people when we play Monster Prom live reading because it takes forever.
It takes so long.
Which is totally fine. I just want to state that fact because I remember it being like almost midnight last time and everyone was getting real fucking tired.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's as long as a D&D session, which is
Longer.
fine. Just a long time.
It was longer.
All right. We are going to switch off, and I think we're going to send you over to. Don't know yet. It's going to be a surprise for you guys, like it's going to be a surprise for us. We'll see what happens. Thank y'all for coming. We will see y'all next time. Have a good
Adios.
one.